Hello, hello, hello. It's time for some EPT, although not quite yet time. It will be soon TM. Just thought I'd say hi to y'all. Get you in here. There's a bit of delay on this stream, as it is competition I'm covering, so. We'll see who's signed up. Bracket shall be live, probably in a minute, usually in a minute or two afterwards. The last EPT Cup we played in, there was quite a few players that signed up. Just going through the names. Let's actually go through the names systematically. Notable players. I'll say we have got Vanya. We have got Solar Special. Shadone. Peely. Pigs hanging around. Nidix. Nina. Who actually, didn't Nina like come second in the last one? Or fourth or something? Which was quite a good run. Neeb! We have got Nice, who can't be slept on after qualifying for King of Battles. Mixu, who I believe is pretty alright. Max Pax. Continuing on, we have got Mana. I think you guys know who Mana is. Juggernaut Jason, Jim Rising. Hurricane, which is exciting. Goblin, Golden, Future, Gerald. Chammy Boy, Cats, Bly, Armani. All a bunch of great players. And so we'll have these players duking it out pretty soon here. Just waiting for the bracket to go live. If you guys who are tuning in could go ahead and slap that like button, let as many people know that we're actually live over here right now. That would be appreciated. That would be greatly appreciated if you can hit it. Iscar's doing the bracket as we speak. Oh no, I'm not playing. I'm watching. I guess technically I could play in these. Technically I could play and then switch over to caster mode once I'm eliminated. EPT time. The bracket should be live. The bracket will definitely should be live by the time that you guys are, by the time me saying the bracket's live gets to you guys. For those of you wondering, there's a slight delay here. Bracket is up. There we go. Okay. As per usual, the first round not gonna have too many players. Alright, so we're probably gonna do cats versus a giant smurf first. Which should be fun. And then as usual, these tournaments, they get better and better the more it goes on. Hello, Jake's Blue. Or Jake Blues, sorry. Saying done, hit that like button. If you guys can all be so kind and just slap it. If we can get a like for every person in here, that would actually really help out the stream. Like, there's such little coverage on these cups that I thought that, like, it's almost my duty to cover the America's Cup. I know that there's pig casting, there's Chicken Man, but other than that, there's Renegade. I don't know if he's actually casting or what, though. Or what language. But yeah, I thought, fun to cast some Starcraft. Yes, so we're gonna do Katz's game first, as I haven't actually seen a giant smurf play, but I think he's an alright player. I think he's alright. Alright, we are into our first match. Gonna be Cats against a giant smurf, ladies and gentlemen. A giant smurf is a Grandmaster player. Grandmaster level player. Cats is off racing as Protoss. So I think it should be a fairly even PvP. I'm not gonna try and predict it because I haven't seen them all play. But yeah, anyway, here we go. We're loading on in. It's going to be a best of 3 to start things off. I'm not going to be shouting at the top of my lungs in game number 1 or 2 or 3. Well, unless something crazy happens. But we're going to keep a nice steady pace as we chug through this EPT Cup. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to cast this man for the very first time. He is a giant smurf. And in the top left-hand side of the map, the owner, co-owner, co-founder of Root. He's under the ID Putos. It's Cats. Catsy boy, gonna be playing some Protoss. Wanting to have a fresh take on life as he tries to master something else. And I totally realized that I forgot to swap the screen over there. But there we have it. Got that scene switcher now on, so all is well. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, a PvP to start things off. Looks like we have Cats actually going to be doing the one gate expand, it looks like. Which is exciting to see. I think it's a really good build. really good build, I think. And he was about to send that probe out. Changed his mind. There we go. Now this probe's going to be the chosen one to build the Nexus. There we have it. Hello, Christopher. Nexus getting popped up by cats. He's doing the Alpha Star build, guys. I know it's not actually the Alpha Star build, but it's the build Alpha Star does a lot. The one gateway expand, as opposed to the much less macro-oriented, a little bit more aggressive, 2 gateway opening standard, which is the standard. And then Cat's going with a probe scout. Very necessary if you're doing this style, I believe. As of course you gotta be prepared to be cheesed. But yeah, we see a Giant Smurf scouts this out. He is banking up his own minerals, but then he starts up 2 adepts. I'm not sure what the correct response to a build like this is, what you're supposed to do. A Giant Smurf isn't giving me any indication of what he is going to do, whether he'll throw up his own Nexus, whether he'll proxy tech, but I think it does just have to be his own Nexus, and now Cats goes for a Pylon block, which is really, really going to delay what a Giant Smurf has, so I'm really liking the opening for Cats right out the gate. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see that some of you guys are all starting to jump on into the stream now. As you're jumping in, if you could go ahead and slap that like button, I'd really appreciate it. It would really help the stream out. Why did it, Okay, yeah, we're good. I was just making sure. Alright, so we had a Giant Smurf toss down a pylon, but now we see Cats has already thrown up his own shield battery. Oh, he doesn't... Okay, there we go. No, he does have a full wall up on the high ground. So he's gold. Cats is gold. He's now got 2 stalkers out. He may lose some of these probes. He might actually lose all of these probes, but even if he does, he's still got the Nexus. So yeah, the 2 adepts for a Giant Smurf are going to get a little bit of work done. The stalkers will, however, clean them up. So that adept goes down. The stalker's going to clean up this pylon. A Giant Smurf did actually see this on the high ground, but oh, look at this. Cats' pylon. And the fact that a Giant Smurf went for double gate adepts basically meant that he couldn't clean up this pylon. But then he felt that his third was already really delayed, so he starts up a Nexus. But the problem is, Cats has already got his natural base up and mining. And I know he's actually down on probes, which is kind of odd right now. But I think if Cats just does a couple cycles of production as a lead, he'll be in a great spot. And Christopher dropping the 5,050 SEK Crones. Thank you very much for supporting the stream, SEK. Swedish krona. I was right. Thank you very much for supporting the stream again, Christopher. It means a lot. Alright, so Cats. He's getting up a second Void Ray, so he's playing that Void Ray style. He's got a Twilight Council finished up. What he's going to use it for, I'm not sure. I do find it quite odd, though, that Cats is actually down on probes compared to a Giant Smurf. And now a Giant Smurf's third base is done. I really feel that Cats should have had the lead in the probe count. So I'm not sure if he cut production or what. A Giant Smurf does still need to transfer his workers, as he's grossly oversaturated for the minute, but there we go. Sending out those probes, getting a Dark Shrine behind his blink. Yeah, I really do like the position that a Giant Smurf has found himself in, even though I really didn't like his opening. I guess it's just Cats maybe didn't build enough probes or something, what he was spending his money on, as opposed to getting up a really high probe count. When we see Alpha Star do the build, it's usually like Alpha Star's got like an extra 10, 15 workers on top of his opponent. But now we see Cats has made some Void Rays, and he's actually going to attack this third base, which is much less defendable than the natural. The battery overcharged shield battery gets depowered, and now all of a sudden Cats is pushing forward. He's got enough Void Rays that a Giant Smurf is going to need a ton of Stalkers to deal with this, and this is actually looking really, really good for Cats. I think Cats is actually just going to win this, perhaps. The Stalkers are being saved in the Prism. A Giant Smurf does need to get a few good Warpins off. He's got his Stalkers that can now retreat to that battery. The probes are actually engaging, and a Giant Smurf can't afford to lose some of these against this. but he does need to be very careful with his micro, and he actually missed micros there, losing a Stalker. Cats has got most of his units still alive. Those probes, they gotta run away as opposed to just being killed off, but those are big losses for a Giant Smurf. He's engaging the Stalkers of Cats. He picks off one of them, but overall that was massive damage getting done by Cats. 22 probes, not the best reaction from a Giant Smurf. And yeah, a Giant Smurf now in a lot of trouble. Cat's got up at third base behind this, so he's got a better economy. He's got more economic potential with the third base already done up. And this is looking really darn good for Cats. A Giant Smurf has got his Prism out on the map, but he doesn't really have the money to produce too much off this. He's gonna be trying to make something happen with his Speed Prism. The Prism is trying to escape the Void Rays, but Void Rays, in this day and age, I haven't actually seen this interaction before, are almost as quick as a Prism. So I think the Prism's going to have to recall for it to stay alive. Does he recall it? He does manage to juke. No, he doesn't. This Prism's totally dead. I think he definitely needed to use a recall to get it out of there. It's a little bit too late, though. So dead Prism, really nice find there by Cats. The Stalkers are starting to push in for a Giant Smurf, I guess just trying to get anything he can, but there's already charge lots out. These Stalkers aren't going to get anything done. We look at the supply right now, I'm pretty sure that a Giant Smurf is just dead. He doesn't have the economy to warp in a counter to this. He warps in 3 DTs, and Cats doesn't actually have any detection, but then there's still no answer for the Void Rays, really. The Stalkers are going to have to work very hard to clean this up. The battery overcharge is keeping the Stalkers alive, so okay, maybe there's a reality which a Giant Smurf holds on for now, but he's still going to be in a very tough position. Yeah, so he actually cleans up the Zealots. The DTs did their job, but now we see Cats, he's getting up lots of detection, and Oracle and Observer. He's got cannons at all of his bases, actually. And once he's got the Observer, he'll be able to kill off the DTs, come in for another attack. Still, though, a Giant Smurf holds on. He survives. He says, I'm not dead yet. I'm not sure what the best... I'm not sure what the best choice would be for a Giant Smurf at this point. I think it might actually just be Archons with the DTs. And then rely on that. Archon's pretty good against Charge Lots. Archon's alright against Void Rays. Yeah, we see the Voids for Cats not actually getting too much done in this follow-up, and a Giant Smurf is actually looking for him. I do still think, though, that Cats is in a phenomenal position. It's 2 bases against 3. All 3 of these bases are really saturated up. There's now a ton of Zealots out for Cats, 17 Zealots. The DTs dealt with the Zealots the first time. They are not going to be able to deal with the Zealots the second time. It really is going to have to be on these Archons to help deal with all these Zealots. Those DTs, I think, need to morph into another Archon, as Cats will have detection. These Zealots just run into the base there of Cats, or of a Giant Smurf. That's because his third base is under attack. His probes have had to be microed against this. We see that there is, yeah, just a lot of trouble here for a Giant Smurf. I see some of you guys are starting to jump on into the stream. We see Jack is popping in, John Solo. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. As you're popping in, I'm gonna say if you could hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Try and get as many people in here as possible. And then, yeah, we have got some really great players tonight. To answer your question, Jack, it's like, there's, yeah, I listed it earlier. It's like, we got Mana, Neeb, Special, Solar, and the list goes on and on. I literally went through the list earlier, but it's a lot of great players. The matches in these cups, they get better and better the longer it goes on. So far, it does look like Cats is the favorite in this match, and he's probably going to take game number 1. In fact, he is going to take game number 1, barring his power shut off. But yeah, I do love these cups because the matches just get better and better and better. So not only is there a bunch of great names, and then they just keep matching into each other. Even Michael popping in. Good evening, Michael. Alright, more Zealots coming in for Cats. Gonna be charging forward. Cats is playing Protoss in about the way you'd expect him to. However, he does have a lot of Zealots and Archon, and an Immortal going to be moving forward. It's going to be a very tough hold for a Giant Smurf, who's still on 2 bases, by the way. He's now going to have this Oracle moving into his main base, just going to stasis ward all of his probes. His 3rd base is under attack. Oh, the Archon's getting on top of all of his probes, going to kill them all off. GG gets called. Cats takes the first match in the series. What a match between those players. What a match. What a great game. Once again, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. A wonderful, wonderful day. Just waiting on our invite to the next match. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to have, have the view count pop up on Team Liquid at some point. That is a thing that we need. Yeah, the game did drag on a little bit, that last one. I hope they didn't start without. That would be tragic. There we go. Shrimp just messaged me. If you play 22 games and stay at the same MMR, you can squeeze into GM. Be one of those, be one of them fake grandmasters who's before the MMR shoots up for the season. Alright, anyway. This best of 3 is gonna continue on. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's a giant Smurf. And in the top right-hand side of the map, it is Root Cats. It's good to see all the regulars popping on in. Hello, Lazo. Yeah, it's a shame that these cups are that the American one is so late for the Europeans. Oh, okay. We have got ourselves a cheeky pylon for cats. I guess this is a cannon rush fake out. Okay, that's exciting. Looks like a giant Smurf is dealing with the fake cannon rush, however. Saying that yes, this is indeed a fake cannon rush. Cat's behind this. He's just going to be going for a 1 gateway expand again. Eugene saying, do all pro players use minimal settings? A lot of pro players do, because they argue that it makes it easier to see invisible units. So yeah, that's why they do it. I don't think it's so much an FPS thing. I think it is strictly an advantage from seeing invisible units for the most part. Christopher saying, who needs Artosis when we got Lappin Games? I'll say that that's one of the highest compliments that I can receive. A giant smurf has had enough of cats, apparently, and is going to be proxying the heck out of him with a gateway pretty much on Cats' front door. So we're going to really need to see a shield battery start up soon for Cats, as it is going to be the conundrum of the 2 stalkers, or the multiple gateways, going up against the singular gateway. And so we will need to see Cats get up a shield battery if he's going to have a hope in holding off against any amount of pressure. Okay, Cats isn't even scouting out with his stalker, which is a bit unfortunate, I think. Like, you generally do want to check if you're being proxied in this case. And if Cats just went out his front door, really, he'd realize that this proxy's coming. He moved his stalker out an inch, but not enough inches there. He caught a glimpse of that probe, maybe? Did you, Cats? Apparently not. Apparently not. Oh, no. Yeah, this isn't looking good for Cats. A shield battery is good, but that's why a giant smurf is having his own counter shield batteries. Cats now runs into the stalkers of a giant smurf. Cats now sees the proxy and is going to immediately need to throw up his own pylons, or his own shield batteries. There we go. He's got one building, but we see the problem here. Cats isn't the player with the shield battery advantage anymore, and that's what this attack is doing. It's basically overcoming the battery. There's not enough energy on this. Looks like the pylon's going to be unpowered. I think Cats is just going to be dead here. He's abandoning his Nexus. He's throwing up a battery on the high ground, trying to get out of Void Ray. I think what he really needs to do, yeah, he cancels that. He's probably going to need to cancel his Stalker. There's no way that's going to get him. He's going to pull probes to hold on here. This is a critical part of holding this rush. His Stalkers are coming on in, but I think that pylon's going to be unpowered. Yes, it is. Void Ray production is halted. One of the Stalkers gets surrounded by the probes, but Cats is in a very, very rough spot right now. He is going to have his Void Ray on the high ground with the battery support, but he's losing his Cyber Core. He's just going to really be losing everything. A counter Oracle is going to force a recall from a Giant Smurf. Now that's really good for Cats. However, we see a Giant Smurf already has his Nexus on the way, so that means he can probably just settle with killing off Cats' own Nexus. Void Ray is going to Prismatic Align one of the Stalkers of a Giant Smurf, not going to be able to kill it. Yeah, this Stalker is under a lot of pressure from the Void Ray. However, with him warping in another, the Void Ray Prismatic Align might just barely escape this, but yeah, gonna have to really run away. One of Cats' Stalkers is now gonna die, and keep in mind, he can't make any more. He's throwing up another gateway now. He needs to go for Cyber Core too, I think, as he lost that, obviously. And this is just looking really, really good for a Giant Smurf. Alright, the Nexus of Cats is gonna go down here. A Giant Smurf is in a really darn good spot. He's got his main base defended from this Oracle now. Looks like Cats is gonna try and save his Nexus with his 2 Void Rays. He's gonna grab one of his opponent's Stalkers, but this other Void Ray is really, really injured, and it is gonna be targeted down like it's nothing, and I think that's honestly gonna be the end of Cats. He just doesn't have any production, and that's why you really need to scout out if you're doing this build, I think. GG gets called, a Giant Smurf is able to take it. Quantum saying, Sleepless Europe represent. It's good to have all you Europeans in here. Hope you're all doing well. If you guys can go ahead and hit that like button if you're all tuning in. I see there's almost 30 of you guys watching, which is really exciting. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. We'll find out what the next map is between these players. And also, for those of you wondering, the bracket is linked down below. Which has all the good players in it. It's got a list just right there. I think it's exciting that Neeb came out to this one. I find it almost shocking that Neeb and Scarlet don't play in more of these cups, when I think that they'd be favorites to win them quite a bit of the time. So really happy that we've got Neeb out. I guess it does take quite a bit of time. The winner does get EPT points though, so it's pretty darn important. Hurricane's also out here. Okay, the series is tied up. We're waiting for these players to be ready, and then we'll get into the next one. If there's any players that you guys necessarily want to see, I can try and request them. Oh, Armani's out here too, by the way. Hopefully Armani can win this whole cup. Otherwise, if he can't, I think that's going to say something about his form for having to play TY in the GSL. Right? It's Armani. It's going to be Armani against TY, if I'm not mistaken. No, Armani against Zeth. That'll be interesting. It's TY against Dong Regu. That's going to be good. No job, can stay up. Oh. At least there's more time for Starcraft? Alright. We're loading into the next match and the final match to see which one of these players will be eliminated. So both these players are pretty good, and this is a round 1 match. Anyone can sign up for the EPT Americas, but a lot of the great players do come out for it. And so here we are, in the bottom right-hand side of the map. He tied it up with that nice attack. It is a giant Smurf. And in the top left, his name is Putos, but it's actually Cat. Christopher saying Scarlet and Cyril are so good. I'd say Scarlet's, or Cyril's magnitude's above Scarlet. I don't think Scarlet's in this cup. She was on the list, but then she never checked in. So yeah, no Scarlet this week, sorry guys. Looks like we've got Cats just doing his one gateway expand once again. We saw it got punished in the last match. But I definitely think like Cats could have easily scouted that out. Like you gotta do your due diligence. Okay. So, Nexus is on the way for Cats. The giant Smurf sees it once again. I wonder if he's gonna try and proxy it. I don't know if trying to proxy it's the right decision. Like, if Cats had seen that, I'd say he 100% holds it. He throws up his own extra shield battery. And then he just has to focus strictly on the defense, and he's fine, I think. Stargate's on the way for both players, but we see how the timing works out in this build. Like, Cats has got a Stargate going up pretty much the same time as a giant Smurf, but then Cats also has the Nexus up. And I also really like what Cats did with the double wall in the previous game. I'm not sure why he decided to build it on the low ground this time. I actually don't know. But I still think that it was cool, him going for the Stargate on the high ground. His Stalker's now going to move out, try and intercept these Adepts, and he should be able to. As long as he's got something in position to go for a full wall off, he should be fine. He builds a shield battery on the high ground, which is pretty unique. The Stalker runs into the Adepts, forces them to shade out. Cats doesn't have anything in position here to defend against this. There's the full wall off going up. Shield battery is being worked on by these two Adepts. The Stalker's coming in to help out, but I think the Adepts can work through the shield battery. It's going to be close. Does it get canceled? Yes, it does get canceled. One of the Adepts is dead, though, so this does get cleaned on up by Cats. Cats is making probes while this is going on, which is good to see. A giant Smurf once again had his natural blocked by this pylon. There's now a third base going up at this location. I think that this is quite good for Cats, as long as he keeps up with his probe production. Like, we see a giant Smurf is ahead on probes once again. He actually just killed... Oh, actually 5 of Cat's probes. Was that all with the Oracle? 3 was with the Oracle. So that's quite good. Void Ray gonna kill off that Oracle. I never realized how fast Void Rays... Never realized how fast Void Rays, were able to kill off Oracles since they got tagged with Armored. Hidden Pylon in Cats' face by a giant Smurf gets killed off. Alright, we've got 2 more Adepts moving out on the map for a giant Smurf. They run by Cats' probe, where I'm not sure where the probe's going. If it was just to scout out that there was indeed a third base built for a giant Smurf, I imagine that was it. Cats gonna keep playing his Void Ray style. I find it so weird how Cats is putting so much money into Void Rays that it's actually hurting his economy. Like, I feel like he should have more probes. Cat's going for a proxy pylon towards that third base. It will be discovered by a giant Smurf, however. Still, the Void Rays are going to be tough to defend against by a giant Smurf. Void Rays are really darn good these days, guys. Cat's coming in once again with his Stalkers, with his Void Rays. Kills off one of the Stalkers, almost gets the second. So giant Smurf going to have to hold on at his third base with his shield batteries. Loses another Stalker instantly. Too far away from the shield battery. Giant Smurf is pursuing this army of Cats away. Yeah, Cats has tried to get up a shield battery and the pylon a little bit ambitious. He just decides to recall. That's because there's an Oracle in his main base. The Oracle will get killed off quickly by the Void Rays once again. Alright, we now see a Forge on the way for a giant Smurf. They're going to have his +1. If I can ask you guys to go ahead and slap that like button again, it would be appreciated. Let everyone know that there's some live Starcraft coverage on this channel, on the YouTube. Cat's still making more Void Rays, getting up an Immortal. Looks like he might be planning to get up his third base too. Or just go for an attack. We do see a giant Smurf is coming in though. He's gonna start shooting that pylon. Cats is gonna have his probe wander into his death. The Nexus gets cancelled. I was getting a little bit worried that that Nexus would have actually started up and then it would have just died instantly. Void Ray is going to catch some of these Stalkers. Prismatic Alignment allows 1 or 2 to be picked off there right before the Stalkers even blink. That's just how quick Void Rays kill them. The Void Rays do actually tag another Stalker, but Stalkers can blink away from this. The concern, though, is for a giant smurf that there is immortals on the ground behind this, which means stalkers won't do well at all. And basically that means that the Void Rays are pretty darn hard to deal with. If you can't use stalkers, you really need Archons or something against this composition, or Psystorm, really. Immortal is going to be trying to shoo away the stalkers, but we do see how much of a hard time a giant smurf is having with this. He can't really engage into this army. The Void Rays themselves are good against stalkers. With the immortals and then the ground army to support, it's just crazy how good they are. Shield battery gets killed off right away. Katz's army is getting surrounded, but look at how much damage this army is outputting. The stalkers are just melting instantly. Battery overcharge is being used, but it doesn't even matter. The Void Ray is out-damaging the shield battery's healing. Probes are being pulled to surround. I think that's a really good decision. The Void Rays are still alive in the sky. More Stalkers get warped in. Void Ray gets picked off. There's still, however, 3-4 in the sky. The Immortals are fighting the Probes, doing all right. And the Void Rays alone should be enough for Katz to be able to take this. The supply is currently 80 to 35. Katz recalls his Immortals for good measure. The few Stalkers are doing what they can against this. The Shield Battery is doing what it can. Looks like these Void Rays will end up getting pushed away, which, if a Giant Smurf kills all these off, that would be rather nice for him, and it looks like he'll be able to. So that's really good for him. Yeah, that's actually quite good, but the problem is Katz still has the third base up. He's got a much better probe count. A Giant Smurf did get up his natural base, but it seems that the Void Ray composition is just really, really good for Katz. Katz now has got his +2 on the way. He's got cannons getting up. He's even got his own Dark Shrine while this was going on, so he'll be able to warp in DTs, and there's basically no detection for a Giant Smurf. As we saw, Katz actually killed off his Observer earlier on. The DTs are now running in for Katz, and that might actually just be the killing blow that he needs. There we go, DT is warping into the main base. A lot of probes are going to die here. DT at the third base. A Giant Smurf is going to have basically no workers. GG, well played, gets called. Katz takes his first series and advances on in the EPT Americas. Ooh, Armani versus Juggernaut Jason. Armani has played Jason. We'll find our next match. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we'll do Armani against Juggernaut Jason. I think Jason is gonna have a hill to climb, but it's gonna be a good match anyway, as he'll probably play some unique styles. Looks like Pandemic tuning in. My first live Starcraft cast. That is exciting to see. Sorry guys, one sec, I'm getting a call. Oh, never mind, I missed it. All right. All right, Jason versus Armani should be fun. Jason and Armani. Yeah, this should be a really good match. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in, by the way. If you do enjoy live StarCraft here on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. As I don't think anyone else really covers these events on YouTube, it's pretty much all Twitch, where most esports are at. Which is kind of odd, because there is a absolute ton of StarCraft videos on YouTube. Like, StarCraft is big on YouTube. Alright, in the top left-hand side of the map, it is Juggernaut Jason. And in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Armani. Okay, so, fun fact, I actually played Juggernaut Jason at a LAN at one time. He kicked my rear. That was years and years ago, probably 5 years ago at this point or so. So it would have been like 17 at the time. And, yeah. Little did I know he'd go on to become a rather significant streamer. So Armani, he decided to take a trip over here to the Americas server and crush some American nerds. And I honestly think, if you can make it to the round of 8 in GSL, you're probably one of the favorites to win an EPT Americas. Of course, like, he could get ZBZ'd or something, like, cross-server, but I think he definitely is the favorite. Of course, Special's in here, but I think Armani's probably favored against Special. I think if we get an Armani Neeb match, that would be hyped, or Armani Mana. Like, there's a lot of good players who could take on Armani, but I think he is the favorite for this entire cup. Christopher saying, is hockey Canada's game or EP's game? What is EP, sorry? Alright, so, SCV scouting out the main base of Armani. Jason been like, okay, that's normal. I'm free to send my Reaper across the map. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason, or if Armani does go for something aggressive. Oh, look at this, yeah. Armani is looking good today, guys. This guy has been practicing, probably harder than he's ever done in his life, as he's going to be playing in the GSL round of 8. I think his best tournament result ever. Factory lifting off. Gonna be swapping around with that barracks. Get some Hellions on the way. Armani is electing to go for Pneumatized Carapace, scout out what Jason's going for. I think that's a wise decision. Okay, so Jason gonna be going for a fusion core. This is honestly something that I expected. A fusion core from Jason. I think you gotta do something a little bit crazy, even though a battlecruiser rush is pretty standard at this point. You can't just go into a normal macro game against Armani. Armani's got a Roach Warren on the way. He has scouted the fusion core, so he knows exactly what's coming. And Armani is an incredibly good player, so yeah, he should be able to deal with this rather easily. It's going to be a battlecruiser rush, though. We'll see if Armani is going to be caught off... Well, he's not caught off guard, but if he will make some sort of error in defending this, I do find it Really, really interesting to see that he knows the timing so well for this that he hasn't thrown up spores or anything yet. He's just making a few queens. He'll probably throw up spores in like 20 seconds or so. Make sure he has that defense for the battle cruisers. And that's just a show, that's just a tell sign of confidence. He's even got a few roaches on the way now because he knows that it's usually a combo. It's not just the battle cruiser, it's the battle cruiser and the Hellions. Grenade gets tossed down. Hellions do dive into the natural base. They're actually going to get into a good spot between those Evos, get some shots up on the Lings. The Hellions are all sacrificed in here for Jason. Jason going for a Hellion pull against the guy with the worst tank. I really got to respect that. However, he only gets 2 drones for all of his effort. 3 drones for 8 Hellions and 9 Lings. That could not have gone worse for Jason. So all of a sudden, his Hellion count is reset to 0. He's got this battle cruiser about to finish up. Alright, does the BC teleport across the map? It's gonna kill this Overlord. Does indeed go down. Overseer now flying over the main base, seeing exactly what the tech is. Armani should be pretty happy this game. Overlord crossing paths with this Overlord. Jason is actually going to be able to kill it off. It's always one of life's great questions. I think Zergs can save more Overlords than they do from battle cruisers. Technically, the Overlord's a little bit quicker. So as long as you react right away, the Overlord can escape a battle cruiser, I think. Alright. There's the Yam cannon. Couple of tanks are on the way now for Jason. Knows he needs those in order to defend against potential roach attack that kills a lot of meching players. However, at the same time, then that kind of leaves you vulnerable because there's the Corruptors. And if you go for the tanks to defend against the roaches, that means that you're vulnerable to the Corruptors just popping up in your base. So we see Jason throwing up a bunch of turrets, getting out a few Cyclones. However, it's a hard balancing act as a Terran to try and have that correct mech composition. Because right now we see Jason's only on 3 factories. And he's got to make 3 factories to deal with a ton of roaches. Corruptors are actually just going to caustic spray down that turret. That's really huge from Armani. More turrets getting thrown up. The Corruptors have all used their caustic spray. However, Battlecruiser's going to get attacked. They don't actually have teleport. Yamato Cannon about to finish up, so one of the BCs goes down. Is the second going to go down? Oh no, that would be a big disaster. It's like a few Corruptors will die in the process going for this. Ling's coming in, actually wrap around on the Cyclone to move that anti-air. And all of a sudden, this is where things can go really bad for the Terran. The Raven is now gone for Jason. He's got a few siege tanks, but fortunately he's got good positioning there that Armani can't just charge up this ramp blindly, but if he comes in at another angle, he definitely can. We're taking a look at Jason's production right now. It's simply not enough to compete against this Zerg production. He's lost his BCs. They did minimal damage. The Zerg is now feeling incredibly confident. The Hellions doing what they can. The Roaches are going to surge forward, getting on top of the tanks. The tanks are getting quite a few shots off, but the problem is the Roach stream is not going to end, and Jason is going to be ended by Armani. He doesn't have the production, he doesn't have the unit count, and this is the timing that kills a lot of mech Terrans. Armani just sweeping Jason off. Confidence pouring off that Zerg player. GG gets called as well done. Christopher dropping another 50 crones. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Thank you very much. It does mean a lot. I guess I missed the last war chest, huh? That's how busy I've been, guys, that I never got the war chest. All right. We are loading into the next match. It's gonna be Jason taking on Armani. I'll be doing these probably... I'm gonna try and make it a habit to do these every Monday. So keep note of that, guys. And then join the Discord, which is linked down below. I ping everyone when it's time to go live for these. Just taking a quick look at the bracket. Goblin got 2-0'd by someone called Magna. That makes me wonder if Goblin was a no-show or not. Because I've never heard of Magna, and for Goblin to be 2-0'd by someone. I mean, it does happen. Here, let me see. Goblin tweet anything out about losing. Okay, so he actually played in the EU one. And he got top 4. Welcome back, Noble Cyborg Savage. Okay, anyway. Here we are into this match. It is a best of 3 in the top right-hand side of the map. It is Jason. Almost said Armani. And in the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have got Armani. The great Zerg player. One of the up-and-coming Zergs. Armani, a grinder. But he's always looked good at times. He's just never had the results to back it up. But now that Armani is top 8 Kodath. Yeah, like, let's pull up his page here. Yeah, he's won a couple of Alima League finals and stuff. His team came second in the War Chest Team League. His teams come second in actually a couple of team leagues. But as far as the GSL goes, he's never really had a good result. Never, never, never. Alright, so Overlord's scouting out. Like, that's just the confidence that Armani has, though. If you're Jason right now, you gotta be like, what do I do? What do I do to take down a guy like Armani? Because he's not a guy which you can play one of those... I mean, you can, and I still think that is probably Jason's best bet to try and play one of those scrappy mech games, which the Zerg isn't used to your exact style of mech, so maybe you've got some leeway. But we saw what happened. Armani hit that timing and he killed Jason. And that's just because the Terran tried to invest in too many things, and that happens to me all the time when I ladder. So it's good to see that it happens to someone like Jason too. Armani is a stone cold killer, so no surprise that he was able to see that timing. Like, he got that pneumatized carapace, he's like, oh, okay, the Terran's doing this. He invested in BCs, that's a lot of money. What does Jason do? I don't know, because Armani's going for the same build, and I don't think that's a bad decision at all. What I want to see is Jason hide an extra starport, and then go for a double BC starport rush. Double battlecruiser rush. He's going to hide something. Whether it's going to be a battlecruiser or not. Will it be an armory? Will it be a fusion core? Okay, he's getting Cloak and a Banshee, so what's that SCV for? What's he gonna build? It's gotta be an armory, right? It's gotta be an armory. Look at Armani, though. He comes in with his overlords knowing absolutely nothing will kill these overlords. And even if Jason does hide something in the top left, I wouldn't be surprised if Armani scouts it. Jason is Juggernaut Jason, the streamer. He's a pretty good North American Terran. Fellow Canadian. Armani hasn't sniffed out that he feels anything's wrong. He's being pretty due diligent with his overlord. I think at this point he's probably being like, okay, there should be something else, like a third base at this point. Either that or maybe you're hiding something. So Jason is going to be moving out with his Banshees, with his Hellbats, and he could actually make something happen with this. Armani's not quite ready for this. He's got a Baneling nest, but he hasn't morphed any Banelings yet. So he's going to have to morph those right away. He's going to have to defend with his queens, because in comes Jason. He's got cloak on the Banshee. He's got a good bounce on that Reaper with the grenade. Going to be able to start cooking up one of those queens. Kills her right away. There's another that's softened up. So it looks like 2 of these queens, 4 of the queens will die. So this is actually really darn good for Jason. The Hellbat's already very split up. So this attack is working wonders for the Terran player. He's going to be cooking up a lot of these drones. A huge number of these drones, as a matter of fact. 7 in all. Resets the queen count. What a successful attack from Juggernaut Jason. 8 drones getting killed off. The Banshee's being a pain still. The queen count reset to 0. So Armani's just having to make more queens. The Lings are having a hard time dealing with these existing Hellbats. The Roaches will pop out and shut this down. But this was really impressive by Jason, getting great damage done. I think he just made a misclick, maybe because he's excited. That was a scan going down at his natural. I think that was supposed to be a mule he dropped, so getting a little bit excited. His Banshees are now going to engage this queen. Another queen's coming out, but she will die. Looks like Jason will lose one of these Banshees, potentially. No, not quite. The 2 queens coming forward. The Hellions dive into the natural. They're going to get another 6, 9 drones, 10 drones, 11 drones, 12 drones in all. Armani is in such a rough spot. He had started up a Nidus, but it was right in the face of Jason. So Jason knows that at this point in the game, he's just got to be all hands on deck defense, because boy oh boy did he ever get some damage done. What a position for Jason to find himself in against one of the world's best Zergs. Third base attempt by Jason is being stalled out by Armani's creeping Overlord. He's going to have to get out a Marine, a Viking, or something to help shut this down. Banshees are being repaired. The Banshees got a lot of work done there. Armani really needs to make something happen, and he knows it, but he might just be in one of those positions which is too hard to come back from. I'm not going to count him out because he is an incredibly talented Zerg, but yeah, this is really good. Really good for Jason. He did just lose his Marine, so his third base is actually taking a long time to get established. These Cyclones will clean those up. Cyclone's gonna lock onto that Overlord, gonna be able to kill that off, so that's gonna be dead. Armani is trying to get back up in that drone count, but it's taking him so long. So long. 3 Banshees coming forward for Jason are going to engage the queens. Looks like one of them will almost get killed off. Does indeed get killed off. It's a great move by Jason. He is now going to grab some creep tumors on his way out, giving Armani further worry. His third base is being established now for Jason, so his economy is pretty darn good. He's got that factory production going, so he's going up to 5 factory. Mech still takes a long time to get established, however. Armani, he's got his third base. He's starting to make roaches now. I mean, he's on 70 drones. There's a chance that Armani does actually pull this game back in some crazy universe. Which maybe he just keeps like churning out roaches, takes a good fight, catches Jason unsieged or something like that. I do like the fact that he's going for tunneling claws and burrow. That's a great comeback play. Jason doesn't have turrets everywhere, so yeah, that could really work out well. Jason gonna go by that Overlord. There we go, gonna kill it off now. The mag field accelerator cyclones are revealed, so Armani knows what he's up against. This is exciting stuff. Is Armani going to be able to bring this game back? I mean, Jason gave him a lot of time due to the nature of Jason's composition, but he's still definitely got a lead. Cyclone's going to lock on, kill an Overlord. Looks like Jason is going to lose 4 SCVs due to a Ling run by, but he cleans those up, so that's not too terrible. Cyclone's locking onto some Queens, getting some damage done. 4th base of Armani was cancelled and had to restart. Jason's got his own 4th base on the way, so a quicker 4th base than the Zergs. Always a good sign for the Terran. These Cyclones got to be careful going up that ramp. The Banshees can help out too by keeping these Cyclones on, or keeping these Ravagers honest off creep. Cyclone's going to move in, lock onto a Queen or two. Banshee's doing what they can. Going to target down some of those Ravagers, actually picking off some of these high-value units. Looks like, though, Armani's holding on. He's not taking too terrible trades or anything like that. And so I think he's in a pretty darn good spot. Now if we take a look, the Roaches, the burrowed Roaches are going to be moving out on the map. And this could be the comeback play. A Raven is out, however, for Jason. So it's all going to depend if Armani drives under... burrows underneath? Yeah, burrows underneath those Ravens. And it looks like he does, so that's actually a drastic mistake. These units are now going to be pursued by the Ravens. Great pickoffs for Jason. The fact that he invested in that was just wonderful for him. He's going to be pursuing these Roaches all the way home. So wow, that was a really, really lucky find for Jason. He's going to lock onto these Roaches, kill a lot off. The Raven's still alive. An anti-armor missile even hit the Zerg force. And those Roaches going down has given Jason a lot of confidence to move forward, and I think rightfully so. He's getting some good trades with his Cyclones now. Locking on, picking off Zerg units, chasing Armani back towards his 4th base. Jason might have a hard time going through this choke point, but he's still getting those lock-ons, still picking off units, scans, ensuring that he gets those kills. His Raven did perish, so he's going to have to be careful about those burrowed units still. But, Cyclone's locking on once again, getting good trades. Armani went off creep, hoping to nab up a few Cyclones, but in the end, it was Jason who nabbed up a few of the Zerg units. The Cyclones are going to lock onto the space, and I think it's definitely going to go down. Very quick kill on that location. So Armani, he's knocked back down to 3 bases. He's going to have to rely on the Lurkers that he's got coming to be his defensive tool. But this is still a wonderful spot for Jason. He's got a 4th base done. It's a PF, it's a rock. He might even throw up an extra CC in the near future, but a really, really promising position for Jason. He decides to throw up a fusion core. Makes me think he's going to go into battle cruisers. I mean, it's either that or playing the Cyclone Liberator composition. And the fact that he's already got 2 starports with reactors, I didn't see these go up. It will be the Liberator composition. Now we see Jason going to be moving out on the map with these Cyclones once again. Going to be pushing up towards the 3rd base this time, maybe looking for another base. Does kill off some Roaches trading out, and he's just so confident with the amount of units that he has that these Cyclones are doing wonders. But oh, a Roach surround coming in, going to get right underneath these Cyclones, lock them in. This is trapping Jason's army, making it run through the Zerg base, and really, really great move by Armani. That was a high IQ play there, as he picks off a ton of those expensive Cyclones. Really, really well done. The Cyclones picking off some of these Roaches, but that was a great move by Armani, pushing Jason back. But at the same time, the 3rd base died during that. I didn't even realize it. And so Armani's economy is really, really knocked down. Jason gets pushed back home. Armani up against a Terran who's getting up towards his 5th base, whereas he's just having to rebuild his 3rd base hatch. He does have the Lurkers, which I think are a pretty good comeback unit for Zerg in the meta lately. Still, though, it's not going to be an easy road. Jason's got a Raven with his army again. We'll spot the Roaches. Lock-on's going to help kill those off very quickly. A lot of Roaches die. Jason moving forward once again, gonna find those Lurkers. Locks onto one of them, but Lurkers do have pretty high range, so it's kind of hard to play around them. Jason comes forward once again, locks onto some Roaches, but we do see the Lurkers are getting pickoffs on that Terran army now. Liberator harassment is going to start, though, as these libs come in, and there's actually just barely any anti-air for Armani. No, he's literally got two Hydras, and he taps out, not ready for the Liberators. Jason ties up the series against Armani, just like that. Taking on one of the world's best players. Well done indeed. Well done by Jason, fighting the good fight, a North American doing what he can. I don't think there's anything more North American than a player taking on someone who'd be considered quite above their skill level, just casually, in one of the first rounds of the tournament, round of 32. So still having to take on a lot of really great players to advance further. Okay. We're loading on in. It's gonna be game 3. Ladies and gentlemen, for Jason, leave a like for Jason, who, by the way, has got a stream. He's probably streaming this on Twitch right now. I'm not gonna link it, but you can find him there. He's a pretty constant Terran streamer. Back when I had more time, and I guess was more in the habit of always having like a streamer going, Jason would be one of the guys, one of the streams I'd turn on. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom right-hand side. He just took down a top 8 Kodesh Zerg in a match. Can he win the series, though? It's Jason. And in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Armani. Gonna be like, who is this? Who's this Canadian dude that just beat me? I'm not supposed to lose, he says. Not supposed to lose. Really fun, though. Really great to see Jason playing a match. And that's exact... I'm not saying that I expected Jason to win, but yeah, there's nothing more North American than in like a round of 32 of some online cup, taking a map and having like a close series against one of the best Zergs in the world. I still think Armani's the favorite for this series, but that was a really good build choice from Jason, I think, too. Like, I think you could look at Armani, the way he was playing it. He must have known something was off. But I guess his mind just didn't go to Hellbat plays. Maybe he was thinking about battle cruisers or whatever. Not Banshee. Not a classic Banshee Hellbat attack. It's a really good build choice from Jason. I think that it's going to be hard for Jason to catch Armani off guard like that again. But that was really good. Alright, SCV Scout moving out for Juggernaut Jason. Gonna head towards the natural base. We are on Romanticide, by the way. I'm gonna guess... I don't know, it's romantic because of the pink, maybe? Because of pretty colors everywhere? Alright. Metabolic boost now on the way for Armani. Marine popping out for Jason. Gonna have that to help zone out the Overlords. Armani has gone for his Overlord speed the past 2 games. I wouldn't be surprised to see it a 3rd time. Reaper for Jason popping in, bullying Armani a little bit. I'm curious if we will get that that Overlord speed. Queen ensuring that the third base can be thrown on up. Alright, there's Pneumatized Carapace. Armani wants to know what's coming his way, and he did have it that last game. And I think in other games, there's a solid chance that one of the Overlords just flies around the map and looks for a proxy, and that he finds that armory. What Jason's got to do this game, I'm not too sure. Maybe like a fast Viking to zone out the Overlords into a third CC. I'm not too sure. It's not an easy call. It looks like it's going to be into a Banshee once again. Or no, Fusion Core. So yeah, going to be a battlecruiser rush again. Okay, hatchery on the way. There's the 40 drone safety roach warden for Armani. Third CC for Jason. And there's the BC on the way. Michael saying, I think I need to go to bed. To which I say, that's probably best if it is late in Europe for you, but at the same time, don't you want to see who wins in this series as Jason charges his Hellions into the natural base of Armani. Once again, going to be killing off quite a good number of drones this time. 10 drones. Armani is getting a taste of YOLO Terrans. Welcome to the American server where Hellions just yeet. Or where players just yeet their Hellions into the Zerg natural at random. And all of a sudden, Armani takes a 10 drone hit, which I think is pretty good for Jason, slowing the Zerg down. I know that you need to get a certain amount of drones for it to be worth it for the Hellions, but for 6 Hellions, I think it was. And then I think if... oh, this could be bad for Jason, however. He's got 2 Hellions out. He's gonna have to try and deal with these Lings. Got another 2 Hellions just popping out, so that'll really help take care of this, and it looks like he will deal with it. Yeah, those Lings getting taken care of. Armani wants to creep up that base, but it does get denied. So the base does land. Jason having a pretty solid start once again. His battlecruiser's gonna kill off this Overlord. Then he can maybe teleport it across the map or not. I'm not too sure. But yeah, really liking this spot for Jason. He's even starting a wall at this ramp. This is going to make it so that it's hard for the Zerg to attack up if Armani does go for a big attack. I always think Jason's been pretty darn good at TVZ, so it's nice to see him doing well against a guy like Armani. I mean, Armani's position isn't anywhere near as bad as it was in the last game. It's probably a fairly even game still. Jason's not in a bad spot though. Armani's creeping up. He's getting that 4th base on the way a scan goes down. Jason says, hey, that's a lair. What's that about, guy? As he's building tanks, he's getting up his armories. I think it is pretty bold for the Terran to go right into the armories. As you sometimes want the extra factories up so then you can get your unit production going sooner. Jason says, no, I'm confident enough in this game. I want to get up my armories. I want to have those good upgrades. We see Armani is making 6-7 corruptors to deal with the battlecruisers. The BC is going to be looking for whatever pickoffs they can get. They're going to have Yamato Cannon in about 10 seconds so they can do the Yamato Cannon dump. And then they can teleport away. Here's the Queens and Corruptors coming on in. There's the Yamato Cannon done, so that's going to be 2 dead Queens. The BCs need to teleport out, and they do. Just like that, they do the old shoot and scoot. The tanks are actually going to be very well defended this game with that ramp to help. I really like this defensive position for Jason. 6 turrets on the way too to help deal with the Corruptors. acute caustic spray, or contamination, pardon me, to hit the orbital command of Jason, but I really like Jason's position, getting this base set up. He's going to be able to toss up a 4th CC pretty darn soon here. And there we go, the CC is already on the way. Armani is at a pretty good economic position, though. He's got up to 81 drones. He's on 4 bases, so he does have the economy to try and figure out how he's going to deal with this mech. Jason, though, he's getting up his production. There's factory number 4 and 5. His BCs are still on teleport cooldown, so he's got to be careful for 10 seconds, but he's already moving them out, waiting to get the next dump of Yamato cannon off and then teleport away. 2 seconds, so he is moving out. He'll run into these corruptors, but he can probably, dump the Yamato cannon, then teleport out, kills off all those fresh creep tumors, dumps 2 Yamato cannons, gets the corruptors, gonna get some creep while this is going on. This is quite good for Jason, pushing this much creep back. Now we can just teleport those BCs away. That was really darn good. Jason now deciding to throw up extra starports, interestingly enough, makes me wonder what he's going to go into. Like, is this planned for... Like, I'm not sure what exactly the plan is. Because this is going to put him at... This is going to put him at 3 starports, so is it going to be for the Liberators? And just Cyclone Liberator? It must be, yeah. He's getting up extra bases here. Jason was about to move out and take his 4th base, but he hesitated a bit, so playing it a little bit more cautious against an aggressive Zerg. Really good decision-making, I think. Armani is going to be hitting this wall. Jason's going to relocate a tank so it's closer to it. What's Jason going to do? Is he going to mine out this or something? Yeah, he's going to mine out this, secure this base with the Rich Vespine Geyser. He's got a base down here. Securing this isn't going to be easy. I'm not sure if I prefer the base with the Rich Vespine Geyser or not. Jason's got to be careful, though. No turrets at this location. In comes Armani with all of his units. The BC's having to teleport away. The Cyclone's doing what they can, fighting against this force. The tank is still alive, but does get taken out. Jason, he's got to be careful. He keeps his BCs alive, though. He's trying to secure up this base. The Cyclone's getting lock-ons. Going to be killing off the roaches. The base has to lift off, though. Will it be kept alive? Looks like the answer is probably yes, due to the SCVs repairing it. Armani is trying to corrosive ball it down. The Corruptors working away on the command center. Looks like it will get taken care of. The Cyclones are going to get underneath the Corruptors, though. Get some lock-offs, at least punished by killing off a couple of those. But that was a really great pick-off by Armani. Jason did have the spare CC, though. That's why it's always important to have the extra CC building as a Terran. Zergs will try and pick it off to slow down the mech. Jason's now getting turrets and everything up, so he will establish up this 4th base. I'm not super confident in his position right now, though, simply because Armani is on a 5th, a 6th base. Jason mined out this mineral patch, which seems a little bit risky. It seems a little bit risky, seeing as how he didn't actually really need that pathway. In comes the Zerg once again, hitting the 4th base. Jason gets pulled out by an attack towards his 3rd. He's now going to have to pull his units towards his natural base. That location isn't a planetary fortress yet, but it will be enough to push away that Zerg as Jason's units come forward. Armani, I think he's still figuring out how he's going to deal with this mech composition, and it looks like the choice is he's going to try and break it as he fires up 58 Lings, whether those Lings will just be for a big counterattack, or whether he is actually just going to try and flood forward, saying, okay, you don't actually have that many Hellions. Jason, though, is making more Hellions as this goes on. He is going to be getting up this base as a planetary fortress, which is very important. Armani's made all these Lings. He's definitely going to be going for an attack forward, so Jason's got to be really careful. Jason moving out with his Hellions and his Cyclones, not in position with this army. The PF can actually be repaired, so that should stay alive. The Cyclone's locking onto a lot of the Raptors, going to actually be dealing with this army, and all of a sudden this wasn't the best trade for the Zerg. The Corruptors fly forward very boldly, going to be just charging onto the BCs, kills off one, the other is actually going to go down, so the battlecruisers being killed is very, very nice for Armani, but Jason holds on. He takes those good mech trades. A head-on resources lost, but oh my god, this was Armani's play, building up a huge bank. He fires up 30 Mutalisk. That's an insane number. Mutas are so good against Cyclones too, particularly softened up Cyclones. This is the kind of composition that Jason needs Thors to deal with. This is the play from Armani. Mass Mutas. I think Jason might have seen this now. He's going to be retreating, but boy, oh boy, is he ever in trouble. He doesn't have any turrets at his planetary fortress. He's going to retreat with his Cyclones, but it's simply too many Mutas. They're going to get on top of this. An anti-armor missile is used by Jason. Very clever play. The Mutas are going to be repelled by the Widow Mines, but Jason's fourth base is going to be taking a lot of heat from this Cyclones, trying to get lock-ons, get kills on those Mutalisks, but we do see the fourth base is going to be getting taken out. And all of a sudden, Jason's in a bit of a panic trying to deal with the Mutas. Armani's getting a wraparound on the Lings, trying to bog up these Cyclones. If it wasn't for the Widow Mines, Armani would just keep going forward. The Liberators are now out to try and help out, but we do take a look. Jason's supply is plummeted. He's lost his fourth base. The Cyclones are getting lock-ons onto the Mutas, but this is so scary for Jason. Armani's at 33 Mutas, making even more as this goes on. The mines are enough to dissuade the Mutas for now, till Armani's confident enough with his Overseers. A Thor even popped out for Jason, but it's not enough. He knows he's done. Armani checked the boxes and dealt with that mech player. GG is called. Well played. Really well played by Armani. What a game. What a match. Jason gave us a really entertaining series, but Armani moves on, the favorite, as expected. Okay, and all of a sudden we're looking for another match. Nice against Golden, that would be interesting. I imagine they're already underway, though. It'll be Bly versus Armani. That would be an interesting ZVZ. So we might just stick with these guys. All right. Yeah, what a really fun match. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this coverage of these players. Bly's just gonna be right back in a minute. So yeah, then we will hop into that ZVZ. While we do have a second of downtime before we get into the next match. Hit that like button, please. If you do happen to be watching the stream, you decided to tune into some pro Starcraft, for starters, say hi, and then subscribe if you do enjoy the content. But if you actually are watching, and you're not like a sub, maybe you're someone from Team Liquid, or you just found the stream randomly on a YouTube sidebar, said, hey, you know what, Starcraft 2 Pro, why not let's watch some of that. Let me know, say hi in chat. Otherwise, yeah. Just gonna wait a minute. I'll get into the lobby, and then I'm gonna have to step away for half a minute or so. But yeah, I can update you guys on the bracket as things progress. Solar's taking on Riser. Shadone Gym Rising is going on. I think that would be a very underrated match. That was one that caught my eye. It's already underway though, so we won't be able to get into it. Then we have got Cham taking on the Zerglord, South American match. Hurricane still chugging away in the bracket. We'll probably be taking on the winner of Nina versus Nidix, which I think is going to be a good match too. Nice taking on Golden, Peely Peely taking on Future. Peely Peely Future I think is going to be a good match, because Peely Peely's on the up and up, playing a lot more lately, and then Future, he's looking really good as usual, but not as good as people maybe expected him to after he had some of his good results. Okay, Max Pack's waiting for the winner of Silky and someone called BK557. Then the winner of that'll take on Special. I think Special Max Pack or Silky Special would be fun. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, so I'll try and watch Max Packs, if possible, Jake. It's a bit of banter going on in the lobby. These guys are crap talking a little bit. Future and Peely Peely is gonna be a good American match, though. Hello, Zoust. Simon says, it feels like I'm listening to a hockey broadcast on the radio. Hello out there. We're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Grudge of the Century. Future and Peely Peely having some sick banter. It's actually awesome that Peely Peely's back. Like, he qualified for EPT. Like, Peely Peely was a guy who was looking to be really promising for NA, and he did have some good results. But anyway, in the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have got Future. And in the top right-hand side of the map, we have got Peely Peely. I couldn't wait. I could not wait. I'm just going to lock onto Pig's camera for a second here, guys, and I'll step away. Alright, I am back. Looks like we had a little bit of intro stuff. Peely Peely's got a dirty pylon. We have got, yeah, just normal openings for, well, openings for both players. Concussive Shell Marauder opening for Future. Proxy Stargate for Peely Peely. So this is a very NA match. North America, Reaper for Futures in the main base of Peely Peely. Peely Peely trying to keep one of his probes alive. Looks like he'll be able to do that as the Adept's going to lock onto the Reaper. The Reaper just going to have to get on out of there. Nothing has died this game. Future did get into the main base and scout out, and now he's probably thinking, hey man, where's your second pylon, guy? And so his Reaper is actually scouting out the left-hand side. However, Pili has chosen to build his Stargate on the right-hand side in maybe a more obscure location. Future, though, he's sensing some shenanigans, so he throws up an eBay. Gonna be able to build a turret. If he starts one right away, it might be done in time for the Oracle, but it'll have to be like right away. There we go. Turret starts at the main base. 18 seconds. Oracle's got a few to finish, then it's got the flight time. Turret's starting at both bases. It's gonna be real close. Oracle's flying across the map. Future has got his Marauders crossing the map now. So it's gonna be a bit of a base trade in this sense. Well, not a base trade, a trade of damage. Turrets will zone out the Oracles, though, so it's all on the Adepts to get damage done on Future's side of the map, whereas the Marauders and the Reaper are now going to be getting damage done on Pili's side, so both players are going to be losing workers. The Marauders tagging probes while they kind of just wandered across the map. The Adepts are going to be tough for Future to deal with, however, as SCVs have to be pulled against those. The Marauders are targeting down probes, though. Pili's brought his Oracle back home to put a timer on this aggression, though, so Future's going to have to try and settle for as many workers as he can get. Currently, he's killed off, 10. Will he get number 11? Not quite. Looks like Future loses 3 SCVs in the process, but he comes out on top. Comes out on top, so that's really good. Okay, Stim Pack. On the way now for Future, so he's going to have that coming. His Marines are out, but the Oracles are hungry, and they're going to be gobbling up those Marines like it's nothing. Future has to hide by his turrets, produce what Marines he can. Pili knows he needs to get some damage done, so getting those Marines was good, but I'm not sure if it was enough. Future firing up a starport, firing up the racks. He's going to make as many Marines as he can. As Pili's kept this Marine count down. There's even now a Void Ray coming in for Pili. Gonna be able to look for a few SCVs. The turret's the main defense for Future right now. Pili, he had fired up a third Oracle, but instead he decides to use Void Rays against this Terran player, so thinning out the Marine count was actually really, really important. As the Marines, of course, the main defense against these Void Rays, and when their numbers are low, they actually can lose to Oracles and Void Rays. Future does have Stim on these Marines now, though, so that could actually be a big deal when it comes to taking care of this. Combat Shield's going to be a target of these Void Rays. Marines doing what they can. Revelation goes down, so the Widow Mines won't be a threat. Future's making a single Medivac. He knows that it's just really important for him to get those out. He's making as many Marines as he can. I'm not sure where Pili's going with this. Looks like the answer is into a Robo and Blink back at home, but only on 2 bases against a 2-base Terran is not a good spot, so this actually looks really good for Future. And Future, pardon me, now has got out this critical Marine count, which should be able to repel the Protoss. As at some point, Marines just become really, really good against a Protoss force. Pili, he's got his Void Rays. Where does Void Rays go? Defending drops. Marines out for Future. Pili's maybe sensed that the army's out on the map. He doesn't have a shield battery at his natural, though, which makes me wonder if he's actually just going to die to this attack. This is a good amount of mines, a good amount of +1 Marines with combat shield, with a Medivac to support. Oh, great call by Future. Intercepts one of the Oracles by parking his Marines there. He was looking for a 3rd base, but there is none. Pili staying on 2 bases. Future doesn't want to overcommit to this, so he's just going to throw up his 3rd base on location with a faster economy than his opponent. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way now for Pili, so staying on a 2-base economy, but going to be looking to build up that strong army. Alright, there is a couple of cannons now on the way for Pili. Worried about drop defense, but he might just have to worry about a big old army from Future, as Future's now starting to really build up his force, adding a siege tank into the mix, gonna be on a 3-base economy. Higher supply than the Protoss, so Pili Pili's gonna need to take a really good fight with this Colossus Void Ray composition, and there's a chance that he can. Colossus are good, they're not to be slept on. If the Terran doesn't get up Vikings, then the Colossus can actually take on a higher supply bio army. Pili Pili is gonna have to be very careful with this, though. And he does see Future's army moving in. Future scans this force. It's gonna say, I can maybe just dive on top of that. The charge lots are warping in to try and prevent the dive on, but it's not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy at all. Future's starting to come forward. A second Colossus pops out. That's an absolute must for Pili Pili. But, oh, here comes the bio, and it's actually just gonna set on up. Work away on this pylon, kill the Cyber Core. Bio's gonna elevate her into the main base. Pili Pili's gonna try and dive on top of this force. There's Widow Mines, there's tanks getting shots up. Future's just gonna unload, get what damage he can done in the main base. The Bio's now gonna keep running around. The Void Rays are coming to try and get on top of this. They do get cut down by the Marines with their +1 attack very quickly. The Bio's actually doing pretty darn well. The Colossus are doing what they can. They do get big swipes off on the Marines in the main base. So Pili Pili does hold on. Pili Pili hanging on there, staying alive. Repels Future. He did a very good job, I'll say, targeting that center clump of Marines with the Colossus beams. That was very deliberate. That forced Future's dropout sooner than it might have had to. Pili Pili's now getting out a Disruptor, hoping for a big connection. He's got 3 Colossus. Did lose his Void Rays to support it, but this is still a very uncomfortable spot for Pili Pili. He is going to need a miracle Disruptor hit or two in order to come back in this game. As the Vikings start countering his Colossus, that basically leaves him with Zealots and the Disruptors. And he's actually got very little anti-air in this force. +1 armor on the way for Pili Pili, so he's going to be trying to at least have some upgrades going for him, even though he's going to be at a deficit to the 2-2 of Future. Future's getting a 4th base on the way. He's getting up a Ghost Academy. Yeah, this is not a comfortable spot for the Protoss. Future has these Vikings on the way, making 4 at a time. He doesn't want to take a fight before he's got all of his Vikings, but now that he's going to have 2-2, so a 1-1 upgrade lead against the Protoss most likely when the fight happens, and then a good chunk of Vikings, it really is just all about 1 or 2 big Disruptor hits. There's the 4th base for Future. He's got a cute little wall set up, turret, sensor tower, ready for when that CC floats on over. Templar Archives is now on the way for Pili Pili, but it's like, that's kind of late, as Ghosts are already on the way out. So yeah, the Disruptor's really going to have to be big playmakers here for Pili Pili. Alright, Future's going to stim on in. He wants to shut down this 4th base of Pili Pili. There is Disruptors. Are there going to be any big connections? Looks like the answer is not just yet. The Vikings working away on the Colossus, but there's a pretty good shot to start. The Colossus will all die to this as Future kites back with his bio. The Disruptor's getting some pretty good shots. High Templar morphing into Archons doing what they can. Is there any more Disruptor shots going out on this bio? Looks like the answer is no. The 4th base is cancelled. And yeah, Pili Pili not taking a great fight here. Eating EMP. Now with just 1 Disruptor and some Stalkers, he has to tap out as Future takes the 1-0 lead. Just like that. Alright, Future versus Peely Peely, gonna continue on. GG, well played by Future. Getting a lead. Followed it through. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do please go ahead and slap that like button. Just hit it. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. If you do want to support the stream, consider becoming a member. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep doing this every Monday. Alright, looks like both players are ready, and we are loading on in. Okay. In the bottom right-hand side of the map. I want to say he's on Alpha X. It's Future. And in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Peely Peely. Let's check. I'm 99% Future's on Alpha X. Yeah. Peely Peely is on no team. Okay. So, let's pull up that production tab, see what's going on. The answer is not too much. Not too much just yet. SCV gonna be drilling this poor probe. Looks like the probe gets taken out. That's really nice for Future. Peely Peely making a mistake there. Future trying to be a jerk with his SCV, block the pylon if possible. Looks like the SCV sneaks on back though. Is he gonna build a bunker? Or is it gonna be a factory? Looks like the answer is bunker? Bunker it is. Reaper is going to be jumping up into the Protoss main. Peely Peely is going to be trying to deal with it. Then all of a sudden the Reaper will jump into a bunker at his natural, giving him more problems to deal with. Probe goes down already, so that's a very poor start. The Reaper... Oh, it goes down! All of a sudden that bunker's useless! Oh, man. Oh, man. Future saying malding. Oh, that's a disaster. That was going to be great for Future, getting the first probe, getting a second, and then hopping into the bunker, but overstayed his welcome a little bit. And that really, really makes life easier for Peely Peely. Oh, man. Oh, that is upsetting for Future. Blink is on the way. Starport for Future. Widowmine's gonna run out, burrow. It'll force the Stalker back. SCV Scout for Future dives on in after the fact. Actually blocked that robo, that was nice. Being a bit of a jerk. Gonna block the gateway. Look at Future. Being such a pain. SCV does get cleaned on up though. Future fires up his extra rack. Widowmine's burrowing to cover this location. Okay. Overall, pretty even game. I'm not sure who I favor in this match. Okay, Blink is going to be done for Peely Peely. Future's going for the classic Widowmine drop. We'll see if Peely Peely's eager to move out with his Stalkers, as he's on 3, soon to be 4 gateways, so is going to be going for some Blink aggression. And there's a chance that he'll move out before Future goes for this Widowmine drop, and that will give Peely Peely some complications. However, his Stalkers are still hanging around. They're moving into his main base. There's that Widowmine drop moving in. Peely Peely already blinks to do the mines unload. Not even in time. So both of them go down. Great cleanup by Peely Peely. Now he can turn around, focus everything on this attack. Makes me wonder if Future should have just waited an extra, like, 10 seconds. Try and catch Peely Peely on the move out. Obviously, he's not 100% sure what the Protoss was doing, but that could have been good for him. Yeah. Now we see Peely Peely coming across the map. There is a bunker for Future. Future actually scans, picks off the Observer, which basically means that it's going to be harder for Peely Peely just to jump up and down. However, with the Prism warping in more Stalkers, this aggression is certainly not done. Marauders getting into the bunkers. The bunker going to be repaired, but not in time, meaning those Marauders could be picked off by the Stalkers. No stim for Future just yet. He's moving forward with his bio. SCV is being pulled to help buffer for this. He knows that he can't let the Protoss army snowball. Future's got Medivacs to join up with this force now. Those are actually very, very underrated at helping defend these attacks. The bio can now be healed up, but Peely Peely actually blinks on top. The Mad Lad Future can now stim, but all of a sudden he doesn't have too many units since the Stalkers blinked right on top. This was a mad attack from Peely Peely. The bunker's gone, keep in mind, so Future doesn't have anywhere to retreat to, but it looks like he is trading out okay against the Stalkers, but keep in mind, there's going to be another warp in, so Future, he's got to retreat to the high ground. He's got more Marauders coming out, though, which is a very big deal for defending this. SCVs have to be pulled. He knows how critical this is. Peely Peely even warped in a Zealot to help with this, but he's now targeting down the Marauders. There's only one left. GG is called. Peely Peely, just like that, snaps a victory with one crazy aggressive blink forward. That looked really, really close, but well done by Peely Peely. Really, really close, but well done. Hot damn, what a match. Looks like Shadone 2-1 Jim Rising. Shadone's now playing Solar. Armani 2-0'd Bly. So that was very quick. Nina's now taking on Hurricane. Gerald versus Vanya. Silky versus Max Specs. What a game. What a bet. Okay, so the winner of this... Pig beating me to it, saying 1-1. Okay, in the top left-hand side of the map, we have got Future of Terran. And in the bottom right, we have got Peely Peely. These guys delivering great games, as always. That's why I saw Future and Peely Peely and thought, yeah, let's go this one. Where's this actual match on the bracket, though? Where's the Peely Peely in Future? Okay, so the winner of this moves on to take Nice on. I honestly think Nice is going to be the favorite for that. So that's pretty exciting. Nice looking really good lately. Qualifying for the King of Battles. Pulling up the production tab, nothing too significant going on. As per usual, ladies and gentlemen, while the game's just heating up, slap that like button if you haven't. It does go a long way to help the stream. And I'm pretty sure most people have a YouTube account. Okay. Peely doesn't want to lose his probe at the start of the game. Being a pain harassing that SCV. SCV gets sent back, but then the probe runs away because he knows the Reaper's coming. Fuel gets called down. Okay, Reaper is out for future. Looking around for where that probe may be hiding, whereas Peely sent that probe far, far away. Off to probe boarding school. Command center on the way. Future getting up his attack. Gonna be swapping the factory and the barracks. Make some Hellions probably, and there we have it. The Reaper is hanging around so long wanting that probe, but Peely says, no, I'm just gonna use this probe to build a pylon. Probably for my Dark Shrine. Peely going into game 3, most likely cheesing a Dark Shrine. And there we have it. A very obscure location. This is going to be hard for Future to find. Will he be able to tell that it's the Dark Shrine play when his Reapers and Hellions dive on in to maybe get some damage? Quite possibly. This could actually be rather concerning for Peely if Future just dives on in. He's only got 2 Stalkers. The Hellions and the Reapers going to be moving on in. Sees the Stalker, but then backs on out. Yeah, Future's got to be careful about this. He's going for his own Cloaked Banshee, so he's thinking he's going to rock the Cloaked units, but the Dark Shrine is already on the way for Peely. And now here's a real question. Why does a Dark Shrine build quicker than Cloak researches for Banshees? Hellions running in for Future, going to try and get what they can. We'll see if Peely's able to keep his probes alive. Yeah, these Hellions really starting to cut up some of these units, but only 4 workers. I feel like Future maybe could have targeted that a little bit better. It's tough to say. 6 probes for 4 Hellions and the Reaper. Not the best. And Future, he's in the dark a little bit as to what's coming his way, and that's going to be the Dark Templar. There's the first DT warping in for Peely. Future, I guess, didn't get tipped off by this, by what he saw. I mean, he only saw one gateway. He doesn't know. DT's about to run into his natural. Here we go. Is he paying attention? Yes, he sees this. His Future's quick eyes identify this. However, he dropped a meal at his natural, so no energy there. Barely any energy anywhere else. So the SCVs are just running around like mad. The DT is going to be able to work on this wall. This is just disastrous. A Raven can start for Future if he gets the gas, but he doesn't have the energy. He doesn't have anything. The DTs are wreaking havoc. Looks like the counter Banshee is getting some good work done, however. So it's actually Cloaked units against Cloaked units. Good SCV surround on the DT is going to get the kills on them. That's actually huge for Future. And so he's certainly not out of this just yet, as his Banshee is going to be racking up the kills, getting 8 in total so far. The shield battery is about to finish up. But yeah, the Banshee's doing some real good work. It's like Future now has got a Raven on the way to help with this. Another DT is running in for Peely. Future, of course, knows to save scans at this point, however. DT is going to run into the natural, though, and definitely be able to get some good damage done. More and more SCVs going down. Looks like this DT will be killed off. Peely has invested into shield batteries. He's got Blink Stalkers. He's got an Observer, so he is actually just able to kill off that Banshee. That's really good for him. Peely decides to throw up 5 gateways. Is he just gonna go for a kill or something like that against Future? I mean, he's got a decent number of Blink Stalkers already, but Future's got siege tanks. Yeah, Yeah, I think that is going to be the case, though. All of a sudden, Peely's just going to be going for a big old 7 Gateway Blink Stalker attack. I don't know if Future's going to have what he needs to defend this. He's not making any more tanks. Now he floats over the barracks. Yeah, Stalker's just being warped in en masse. Future, he's making Marines, but he doesn't have any Marauders to help out with this. He does have the Raven, which can help him identify the Observer, which is actually a very big deal. But Peely, he's just going to blink into the main base. No, he's actually not just yet. Waiting a bit. Now he comes with the Prism. He can warp in a big round of Stalkers in a second here. Tank shooting away on the Stalkers. 16 Stalkers in all for Peely. That is such a huge number. That is enough to break a bunker with Marines in it. The tank's going to get gunned down right away. The bunker going to go down in a volley, and this is going to be really, really rough for Future to hold down. Auto turrets being tossed down to hold down the fort to try and establish this defensive position. 2 tanks are out for Future. You definitely need 2 tanks to hold on in a position like this, but then all of a sudden, while he can lock down the natural with his tanks, he can't really hold on. Stim's done for Future. He loses his tanks. The Stalkers are going to be pushed away. He loses his Raven, however. Future's going to try and push us all the way home. Can he target down the Prism? Yes, he can! So he's going to be able to deal with that. He doesn't have any upgrades for these Marines, though, so he's got to load up into the Medivacs, try and get away. Peely going to target down the Medivac. Future didn't unload it right away. A tank's going to get sieged up. Marines are going to do what they can. Peely can reinforce, though, with this pylon down to the south, and there we go. We see him doing exactly that. Future's numbers have been thinned out. He's not at critical mass anymore. He doesn't have combat shield to give these Marines the additional HP that they really need. They desperately need. And Future's making everything that he can. He's going to have another tank pop out in a second, but Stalkers are going to blink into his main base, and there we see it. A tank did pop out. Can that tank help zone this army out? He's got to be careful. He's going to lose the Medivac. It looks like he scans. Does he pick off the Observer? Yes, he does. So now all of a sudden, he really just needs to focus at his natural, that is, until the extra Warp Prism shows up. This blink attack is not ending. Future's army numbers are not looking good. He's got combat shield on the way now. He's got +1 done. Does Peely blink in? No, he doesn't. But oh man, this is just such a close position right now. Future decides to throw up another turret because he knows there's the DT threat still. He's got his bio on the front. Peely's warping in Zealots into DT to go with this. 3 tanks are in position for Future. Looks like the DT is going to come on in, try and kill off that SCV. It does go down. This could lead a tank to be going down, and oh, the tank gets unsieged. It will be saved. Future is going to have to deal with Peely blinking in once again. The bio's doing what it can, though. The +1 attack on the bio doing a lot of work. Looks like Future's trading out. His bio numbers are starting to thin out, and he knows it. He grabs the Prism once again, and he holds on just barely. What a tense situation. Peely goes home. He looks at home, I guess, and he says, oh man, I'm only on 2 bases. My blink attack did not kill the Terran. I need something. Looks like all that bio is going to unload at the natural, as Future really wanted to go for a counterattack already. And the something that Peely is looking for is going to be a Robo-Bay. It's going to be a Forge. 3rd Nexus is on the way now. It's kind of just that haphazard or post-hazard Nexus. So now we take a look. Future going to be chasing this bio away. Kills off 1 Stalker. Let's take a look here. Future now moving out on the map. He's got the good chunk of bio. He's even bringing SCVs with this. He just says, all right, it's time for you to die, son, as he pulls pretty much all the SCVs. I don't know how I feel about this for Future, though, because he only has the 2 orbital commands, and Peely's going for a counterattack to a potential base trade, and there is a Dark Shrine in the mix of this, but we do see the Marines of Future with their 1-1 are holding up really well against the Stalkers, holding down the home front. The attack at the natural base. Archon with a shield battery, not enough to hold on. Future does take the series 2-1 and knocks out Peely of this tournament. Well done by Future, as he takes the 2-1 victory in the EPT Americas. Number 39. There have been 38 champions of this cup, 38 weeks of this cup. And I am having a blast casting this. It only took about 9-10 months for me to get approved to cast this, which was quite unfortunate. But yeah, we're ready for the next match. There's a chance that we could just do Peely Peely Future. Nice is out of game, though. Okay, yeah. I mean, nice Future could be what we'll do. Neeb versus Vindicta. It's really all just about looking who's out of game. Peely Peely falls to Future. Great showing by Peely Peely, though. He's looking as spicy as ever. Okay. Oh, someone requested Max Packs, so I'll go Max Packs. Yeah. Max Pack Special should be good. I gotta eat at some point, so I'm not gonna be casting. Not gonna be casting the entire tournament. But I do appreciate everyone tuning on in. Hope you're enjoying the match. Good to be casting this as always. Alright, Max Pack Special. A TVP. Should be good fun. Special has been playing a lot of these. How long till the final? These are currently round of 16 matches. So then there'll be a few round of 8 matches, and then the round of 4 matches. So quite a lot of matches. And I'm actually rather hungry. So I'm not sure how long I'll cast this, but anyway, I couldn't resist. And I didn't realize these guys were teammates. Representing Exxon in the bottom right, it is Special, hailing from Korea, the Mexican Terran. Basically the foreign representative to Korea. And now his opponent, the up-and-coming young gun, I think he's like 17. It's Max Pack. 17 and already playing incredibly good Starcraft. So exciting to see the youth doing really well at this game. Yeah, that's just awesome to see. We take a look here. The build-wise, nothing too crazy. However, it is submarine, so things could soon turn into madness, for all we know. Could turn into madness. And oh, here we go, Special, doing something special for us. Going for a double barracks play. Most likely Reapers, I imagine. Yeah. This should be good fun though. Special starts a supply depot just for half a second, so then a scouting probe couldn't get in here. I heard a pling though. I'm not sure what that pling was. I guess it'll show up on stream when I do see it. But oh, actually, the pling was, we got a $10 donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it for the coverage. I'm not sure if it popped up. Let me pull up Streamlabs so I can see who sent that in. Okay, so we've got the game starting up a little bit here. Reaper trying to deal with the Zealot that Max ran across the map with the proxy Stargate 2. So it's currently a 1 base versus Special trying to go for 2 bases. This game's really starting to heat on up. Max Pack's even throwing up a pylon to really keep the craziness going. He's gonna make a Void Ray, so this is a full-on cheese in that sense. Special's got the Reapers to work with, but Reapers don't shoot up, for those of you unaware. So the Reaper's gonna try and handle the Adept, but if shield batteries get up, it's gonna be really problematic for Special, so we see him getting up a factory. He's gonna be able to go across the map with his Reapers, maybe make some magic happen. If he can get the probe, that would be good for him. So either get the probe, take out the Adept. He's gonna lose a Reaper though due to a missed micro. The Adept will get cleaned, or will get sent away, but yeah, now in comes the Void Ray, and all of a sudden Special's in a lot of trouble. Special is in a lot of trouble being Max Paxed. Not the actual Max Pax build, but being cheesed by Max Pax. This is kind of what I expected here. Crazy, crazy aggression coming from the Protoss player, doing a 1 base Void Ray all in. People at Blizzard right now are cheering as this is happening to the Terran player. Special probably didn't go for the best build to counter this, going for a double Rax. He really wants a quick factory. SCV is going to try and repair this as the 2 Void Rays go to work. More SCVs are pulled, but they're too late. Special loses the bunker, and I think Special could be about to lose the game. These Void Rays are engaging the Marines, but the Marine numbers will be thinned out, and due to how they scale, the Voids are just going to slaughter and take the win here. I think GG gets called. Max Pax takes game number 1 against Special. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see. Okay, so it was Rubes who donated. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I'm not sure if it popped up on stream. Did anyone see that pop up on stream? But yeah, I really do appreciate everyone who supports the stream. You guys are the best. Absolute legends. Alright, we'll load on into the next match. MaxPax took that one in a very cheeky fashion. And we'll see if he's able just to pull a quick 2-0 on special. I'm not sure like when special sleeps, to be honest, because he played in the Korean Cup earlier today, or I guess last night. Okay, players set the match on the wrong server. They gotta play on Central because it's Korea versus EU. The winner of this will play Gerald or Vanya. Nina's still playing Hurricane. Neeb's playing Vindicta, which is probably an underrated match. The winner of Neeb will go on to play... Winner of Neeb Vindicta will go on to play Cham. Armani is taking on Solar in a Korean ZVZ right now. And so the player numbers are starting to thin out. And we are loading on into the next match on Central US. So the players have the best ping. Good to see everyone tuning in. Thanks so much to everyone for watching. All right. In the bottom left-hand side, he just cheesed the ever-loving ravioli out of his teammate, and I don't think he has any remorse for it. He's just stone cold like that. And now in the top right, probably a little bit tilted after that, it's special. I'm not sure what the best thing special could have done in that situation would have been. I think it might have been trying to get the probe with the Reapers. Maybe he should have sent the Reapers across the map. Maybe he should have repaired the bunker. Well, that's pretty much a given that he should have repaired the bunker. But maybe he should have done something else. I don't know. But, yeah. Anyway, we did have that very kind donation from Rubes. He said, totally appreciate what you do, bro. Cheer. Which I assume meant cheers. But, yeah. You guys are the best. I'm glad that we've got such a community out here on YouTube. I think there's not enough like YouTube live streams and stuff. Like there's a lot bigger Starcraft YouTubers than me, but they only stream on Twitch, which seems a little bit of a shame to me that there's no Starcraft live coverage on Twitch really, or on YouTube, particularly when there's so many people that watch Starcraft on YouTube. Like, yeah. And I'm the kind of person that I want everything in one place. Like if I put videos on YouTube every day, I want to stream on YouTube too. All right. SCV setting up at that CC. Here's this SCV gonna go ahead and drill away. Push that probe away. MaxPack's going for a normal opening this game. Remember when I said things were pretty normal at the start of Submarine, and now they definitely are not normal? They definitely did not go normal, that game. MaxPax, oh, he's got the probe hanging out still. Since there was a Marine for special, though, the probe shouldn't get too much done, but this looked like a cheeky probe. MaxPax, I think, is just waiting. Waiting for what, I guess, the Reaper timing that would usually pass, but special went to Marine and then a Reaper. He's even getting up a bunker now too, which I think is always a good investment. Yeah, this probe can't really go in. Adept crossing the map. Maybe the probe is going to go in and try and help the Adept two-shot the Marine that would be there or something. I imagine that's what MaxPax is planning here. Two-shot the Marine, two-shot the SCV. But since there is the bunker that's going to be getting up, special will be more than safe. MaxPax runs on up with the probe. Actually runs right on in there. So probe's going to die. Reaper actually managed to grab 2 probes while this was going on. Looks like he might just have to settle, but no! Probe blocks the Reaper in there, gets the kill. Reaper got 2 kills, which is quite nice. MaxPax gets an SCV in return, also got the Reaper. The Reaper didn't scout out the Stargate, or did he? Yes, he did actually scout out the Stargate, which is a big deal. But the probe gets away. So I was gonna say, if Special got 3 probes, that would have been quite nice, but in the end, he just gets the 2 for the Reaper. He also loses an SCV, so you take away the SCV, it kind of means 1 Reaper for 1 probe, but then Special also got the Scout, so it's alright for the Terran. Nothing too significant. Lots of little things you can talk about, like what's the exact way to do something in StarCraft, what's the absolute best way to do it. I think Legacy of the Void, though, it flies a lot hotter. It burns a lot hotter than, say, StarCraft would in the past. These Marines catching with the depth, by the way, which is really nice. So the little things are thought of less, I think, in StarCraft 2 in this day and age. Like, people would talk about, like, specific unit movements in specific situations more than they would now. I think because there's just a lot more viability. And so that kind of changed how StarCraft plays out. Medivac's out, gonna maybe load up all these Marines or the Cyclone. Either way, it looks like Special might be putting a bit of pressure on his opponent. Oracle reveals that production. Marines and Cyclone lock on. Special boosts the Medivac to give higher vision to allow that Oracle to eat a few shots. I see in chat, Jake's happy that I decided to cast Max Packs. Alright. CC on the way for Special, so getting up that 3rd. He's now just moving out with the units that he has, going to be putting pressure on his opponent, and Max Packs doesn't honestly have a lot. He's throwing up 2 shield batteries, but this feels a little bit too late. The Cyclone's getting the lock-on onto those units means a dead Zealot, a dead Stalker. The Marines with the Medivac are coming on in. The Cyclone gets lifted up, but there's not even that much DPS to kill it, so one of the Phoenix goes down. The second one, I think, is going to go down, and this is looking really, really, really good for Special. The Cyclone can lock onto one of the few Stalkers that remains, kill it off. A Viking even joins on up. Yeah, Max Pack's overextended. His shield batteries are done late, and he just was not ready for this push, and I think he's honestly just lost the game. Yeah, that is totally it for Max Packs. As Special just comes across the map and rolls him over with a pretty basic attack. GG gets called. Special ties up the series. Man, these EPT games are nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy the stream, go ahead and slap that like button. It's greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. As that goes a long way to helping out the stream. Go ahead and slappy that subscribe button. It's free. You get notified of my daily StarCraft 2 videos. We're going to load into Jagannatha. However you want to pronounce it. But, yeah. Good to be casting this as always. Looks like Michael's heading to bed, so have yourself a good evening. Here we are into the next match. Max Pack's tossing out that GLHF on the loading screen. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have got Max Packs. And in the top right, we have got Special. TVP action, early probe move out for Max Packs. Early probe move out for Max Packs, as a matter of fact. Alright, there's that proxy pylon going on up. There is that proxy pylon. Okay. Take a look here. Refinery is going up for Special. Going double gas. He doesn't know that this is coming. He's just opening up, I think, in a safe way to play against someone like Max Packs, honestly. And honest to God, we're watching Max Packs right now do the Max Packs, which is always exciting to see. Do the max packs. We take a look here. Probe harassing this building depot, being a pain. The Reaper's on the way out, though. Special's going to fire up his factory. And yeah, Special kind of countered the max packs by going for this build. This is going to force the Cyber Core out of max packs, then the Nexus. So, I mean, at least he's got that normal expansion timing. The Probe's actually going to run in for the Protoss player, just try and pull that Reaper back, I guess. Try and buy as much time. Yeah, this has got to be a tactic for max packs, to buy as much time as possible. Pull the Reaper back, and then allow, because otherwise he's going to lose units to the Reaper as it barrels across the map and starts killing off probes. So is max packs just going to throw up, toss up a shield battery? Yeah, he does. I feel like he could have started that like half a second sooner, though. I mean, he started up the Stalker instead, but Reaper's going to come on in, and this can put a world of hurt on a max pack. Although, if we do take a look, Special has gone for his CC on his low ground still, and all of a sudden now he's got to contend with 2 Zealots and a Stalker, so this should actually cancel this. So this Reaper all of a sudden needs to get a lot of damage done, but it's not because Special hesitates for a second. And I think that this base could honestly just be killed off. Looks like Max Pax is going to work away. Was thinking of going up the depot, but yeah, Special just realizes that 2 Zealots is too much to pull SCVs into, so he cancels the CC. So Max Pax does get value done with this build. He's got his own natural up, so he can start saturating that. And that's really darn good for him. The Zealot doing the funny backwards walking as he took a shot there. We see Stalker getting bounced around. But yeah, the Stalker's hard to contend with when you don't have a mine, don't have a Cyclone. Oh, thank you, Mark. Match score has been updated. It's currently 1-1. So the winner of this actually advances on. But wow, Max Pax breaks down that wall. Special did not repair it at all. Another Stalker wanders in, and this is looking really darn good for Max Pax. The Stalkers can now kite the SCVs pretty much endlessly. The Zealot getting some good face time on them. You never want to fight Zealots with SCVs. Max Pax might have a hard time going up this ramp even though he wants to. He does get that Reaper though, which is always nice. No more grenades to contend with. The Stalker's taking a lot of shield HP, but still pretty full on health. Max Pax does have to cancel that. Or basically back off the attack, cancel the attack, as the Widowmine Burrow is basically going to kill a guaranteed Protoss unit, which is pretty expensive. But at the same time, Max Pax on 30 probes, Special, his natural base is done, but he doesn't have it as an orbital, doesn't have it secured. He's on 20 SCVs to the 32 probes of Max Pax, which is definitely down for the Terran player. And all of a sudden, we're potentially going to be seeing Max Pax advance on, as he's in a really good spot. He doesn't have the means to seal the deal just yet. He kills off the SCV with the Adepts, though still being a pain. The Stalker's going to push up the ramp. Max Pax comes on up. The depots get lowered. Special opens the gates. Lets the wolf in his house. SCV is being pulled against us, but this is guaranteed big losses against 4 Stalkers with SCVs. 5 more workers go down. Max Pax, I think, knew there was a Widowmine there, though, so he should be anticipating this drop on his side of the map, so he does have 2 Stalkers in position to help deal with this. Is he going to split the probes against us? Yes, he is. There is an armory actually done for Special. Pardon me for not catching that or pointing that out earlier. That basically means the mines are going to be burrowed, which is going to cause grief for Max Pax for dealing with this, but he's got an Observer out. He's got a Robo up. So it's actually not going to be hard for Max Pax to clean this up. He's in a fantastic spot against Special still, who really hasn't built up his unit count at all. GG gets called. Max Pax takes the 2-1 against Special, just like that. Well played by Max Pax. Well played. And now, Max Pax will face off against Geralt or Vanya. So, on the he's actually going to face off against Vanya. We see Nina 2-1 Hurricane. Great result by her. Nice is still playing Future. Neeb 2-0 Vindicta, and Neeb versus Cham is ongoing. Well done indeed by Max Pax. Okay. We are gonna have Max Pax versus Vanya. Exciting stuff. All right. Great to see all these awesome players coming out. Future versus Nice is currently 1-1. Okay, we're gonna hop over to the European server, as 2 Euros have advanced to the quarterfinals. The winner of this match is actually going to be in the money for the cup. This is exciting stuff. Max Pax. Oh, Max Pax was on EU. The players are hopping around server trying to join each other. So Max Pax just hopped off EU, and then Vanya hops on EU. As they're bouncing back and forth between NA and EU trying to find each other. But they're both it's like when you try and call someone but they're already calling you and you get the busy signal. Nick Baker saying, "Thanks, Laughing Games. It's so nice to have live SC2. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it." Vanya, I think, is still waiting on EU. Vanya's now gone offline on EU. But I think he'll be back. I think he's gonna hop over. Say, "Hey, Max Pax, I was actually waiting on you for EU." So yeah, sometimes it takes a second to get into the next match. Hey, Laughing Games, is that a new mic setup? No, same old mic that I had that I've had for ages. Back when I was just starting out YouTube, it must have been 7 years ago or so. It took like ages and ages, but I spent like the first like, it took like years for me to build up like $100, but I spent like the $100 that I got on this Blue Yeti microphone, and it's done me pretty well since as a commentator. So Players are doing vetoes right now, then we'll jump on in. Not sure how many more matches I will do. I think if I had to pick a player to win this, I'd say that it's probably going to be Vanya. Max Pax is really darn good. But, do you think that Vanya in the matchup is probably better? Like, Max Pac's really good PvT, but PvZ, it might be tough. Who knows? Maybe he's got some crazy stuff. I honestly haven't been able to watch enough Starcraft to have the best judgment. Okay, apparently Max Pack asked for a few minutes, so that's why things are taking a second. Just waiting. Just waiting. For some games. For the Max Packs and the Vanya. I'm pretty hungry, so I imagine the players would be too. Neeb Cham going on, Armani Solar, which probably will be over soon, I imagine. Need a Hurricane. Pillars of Gold, we got a match. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. It's time. This might be our last match of the day. We'll see how things are looking, if I can grab a snack quickly or something. But then I do got some studying and stuff that I should do. All right. Players are ready. We are loading into Pillars of Gold. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. It is gonna be good. Okay. In the top right-hand side of the map, he just 2-1 special. It's Max Pax representing Exxon. And I think this might be one of my first times, if not my first time ever casting him. It's Vanya. Playing for B100. In a good old PvZ, which makes me think we're going to see some Stargate shenanigans from Max Pax. He's that kind of guy. Okay. Looks like we've got an early spawning pool coming out of Vanya. Trying to start the series off a little bit spicy. It's not the earliest pool in the world, but definitely a bit aggressive. So Max Pack is going to be glad he went for his probe scout, which is just compulsory at this point in the match. At this point in the matchup. If Big Cheeto somehow wins the election in my country, can we all come stay with you? Absolutely not. Now that I've let that hang for a while, we got 6 lings going to be chasing the probe away. 1 ling hangs around just to check for pylons and stuff and to harass the probe, but no, yes, does turn around to go for the probe. Max Pack's chrono boosting out his adept to deal with these lings, which are on the way. He can always throw up a building as need be to help wall this, if need be. There's that adept. She pops on out. Max Pack's keeping her around. Second adept's on the way. Max Pack's hasn't fully saturated his gas, which is interesting, so he's in no complete rush to get the Stargate. I'm not sure if this is just how Protoss is supposed to react to... I'm not sure if this is how Protoss is just supposed to react to an early pool. You need the resources in order to get out the units or get up the wall right away. So you delay the Stargate a little bit. But interestingly enough, Max Pax is actually building 2 more gateways. So going to be on 3 gates, which is quite odd. This makes me wonder if he's going to throw up a robo or what next. Metabolic boost on the way. Jake Blue's saying the only good bug is a dead bug. I like that. Alright, so Max Pax, he's got a Twilight on the way off the back of 3 gateways, which is just such an odd amount of gateways for this stage in the game. Why would you need 3 gateways, Max Pax? Why? Okay, he starts up glaives. So now he can just keep warping in adepts. More and more adepts for days. This Overlord's gonna come on in and see the 3rd gateway, and Vanya should be pretty confused, being like, Max Pax, why'd you build 3 gateways? No! And be confused as I am. And now we see these adepts starting to move across the map early on. I guess it's just to hit an earlier adept timing. 3 roaches are on the way. Alright, these adepts are now gonna shade on out. Not shade in and commit. Head towards the 3rd base, try and deny a little bit of mining. They might cancel their shade. Yes, they do. The drone's gonna save themselves by hiding into spore crawlers all of a sudden. The adepts, they fire out some shots. They do grab a drone. Then they'll have to shade on out. Robo's done for Max Pax. Prism's out. He needs to get up another couple pylons so he can warp in some more units. Actually going to be supply blocked for a few seconds. This could potentially delay his warp in. But now we do see Max Pax getting up a robo behind this. He is only on 3 gateways, so it's not like this is a big adept all in. It's kind of like when the 4 gate became popular, Max Pax is like, how about I hit you with the 3 gateway all in? Not all in. So these adepts now going to be moving towards the 3rd base. Vanya splitting his units. Mainly lings. The adept's going to try and engage those lings. As they shade, they will cancel the shade and just retreat on out. Max Pax can save these adepts if need be in the prism, or save some of them anyway. But oh, this is going to be a very nasty surround. Max Pax, you got to save at least some of these adepts in the prism, but he doesn't even bother. Looks like 2 of them do make it towards the natural. Vanya, really good micro saving them, but oh, that was a disaster for Max Pax. And yeah, really, really poor play. Like, losing 12 adepts, getting 2 drones? 2 drones? And then, I mean, he killed 20 Lings in the process, but he could have saved at least 4 of those Adepts. A third base is on the way for Max Pax. He's warping in a Sentry to try and hold this off. He can toss down a Force Field to wall this. Vanya's going for a light attack. Yeah, this is just not looking good for Max Pax, so he's gonna have the shield battery done, but it gets killed off immediately by the Corrosive Bile. Disruptor does pop out. Now he can toss out a Nova to try and hit these roaches. Look at that, Vanya already free-splitting 1 unit at best for Max Pax. Not what he needs. He needs more units. He's warping in 3 Adepts, but Adepts aren't what you want against roaches. And Vanya wasn't even planning a big all-in for this. I mean, he's just going up in drones. He's getting up his lair. And this is working out really well for him. Putting pressure on this third base. Tremendous amount of pressure. The Roaches and Ravager will run away. Roach speed on the way, Aspire on the way, Vanya keeping his options open. This is pretty darn good for the Zerg player, I think. Max Pax did keep his third base alive, which is important. But I'm still not confident in his position. Disruptors in the Prism going to be moving out. Can Max Pax get a good shot off? Looks like he gets 2 Roaches. Going to fire at another Nova, get another 1 Roach. So 3 Roaches for a little bit of micro. Not bad. Vanya has the Spire on the way. The Spire will be done before Blink, which is concerning. Disruptor is going to drop at the natural, look for some big drone connections. Another Nova goes out. Gonna hit a Queen, soften her up, but Disruptors don't one-shot Queens. Oh, what a world that would be if Disruptors one-shot Queens. That would be probably a bad world. Although, who knows? That would be some straight-up baloney that Zergs would have to put up with if Disruptors all of a sudden started one-shotting Queens. Alright, now we see the Mutas. 11 Mutas on the way. Alright, 11 Mutas on the way, 7 Roaches on the way. Recall is used. Prism does get saved, which is very important for Max Pax, but he's going to be in a bit of an odd spot now. With just throwing up cannons and such now, when Mutas are going to be heading towards his main base, he's got the 1 cannon, he's got a shield battery on the way. But, yeah, not a good spot for Max Pax. His Stalkers are going to have to come back to the main to try and shut down these Mutas as they kill off some probes. If that Prism had died, that probably would have just been game, but we do see Max Pax now moving out. Going to be going for probably an all-in against the Zerg player. So this could turn into a bit of a pseudo-base trade. The cannon going to help try and clean up these Mutas, save as many probes as possible. As Max Pax decides to charge on in, he's got his Disruptors. He's going to need some big connections on this Zerg force. Really big connections shall be needed. The Colossus will help out. The Sentries will be able to toss down Force Fields. Where are the Force Fields, though? I feel like those might have been a little bit late as Lings get the wraparound on some of the units. Nova's going out, getting alright connections. Another big Nova goes out. The Protoss army is hanging on, but is it just too low in numbers? Max Pax warping in more Stalkers to reinforce. His +1 is about to finish up, which is a big deal, but his economy is being ransacked as this goes on. The Stalkers and Colossus are trading out pretty well with the Roaches, however. Can Vanya hold on? I'm not too sure. Drones being cut up as they retreat. 25 probes died in all during this, so Vanya feels he's confident enough to pull the Mutas back home. Maybe it's just out of desperation. He's going to try and grab that Prism. The Nova's still able to zone out the Zerg army. Is there going to be another one tossed out? Yes, there is. How's the split? 2 Ravagers get connected with. The Colossus gets loaded up into the Prism, trying to keep that alive. Stalkers kiting back. The Prism will die. Corrosive Bile going down all over the place. The Nova's not getting off from these Disruptors. The Stalkers are doing what they can, but now they're being wrapped around, and Max Pax is being pushed away as Vanya has held on. Most of these Stalkers will die, I believe. Or no, looks like they do escape. A few being chewed up on the retreat, but Vanya really up on supply. He actually kept that base alive so he can resaturate it. And yeah, this looks really, really darn good for the Zerg player. MaxPax did keep his third base alive. He has been rebuilding up his probe count, so it's not like he was completely committed there. Vanya says, okay, I'll make some more mutas. MaxPax says, okay, I'll make another Colossus, I guess. See where this wild game takes us. As MaxPax's army is mainly Stalkers, which isn't going to be great against the Baneling Ravager Ling composition. Stalker's moving out for MaxPax, maybe looking for what he can grab, but no, he decides to just pull back. The muta count for Vanya is up to 8 now. So he's going to be looking for more damage. Cannon and a shield battery there will do what they can. Muta does get blinked on top of, taken care of. The cannon going to do what it can against these mutas. Stalker's going to help try and zone as many out. The mutas, though, they do one-shot probes rather quickly, even with the shield battery helping out. Contaminate goes down on the +2. That's rather cute. MaxPax just deciding to go in with a boatload of Stalkers and 1 Colossus. The importance of the 1 Colossus can't be overstated, actually, though, as it's going to be really, really helpful against the Lings. See, the Colossus getting big swipes off on those Lings, but all of a sudden a lot of Zerg coming forward. Force fields are getting tossed down. MaxPax is having to retreat. Sentry is eating Colossus shots. Looks like the Colossus is saved in the Prism. The Stalker's going to kite away as they can, but 10 probes dying during this. MaxPax is really making a game out of this, but the Zerg is just going to be able to pursue and pursue. The Protoss army is just not that big. The Colossus doing what it can. The Stalker's being microed as much as they can. A Disruptor is going to be able to toss out a Nova. There it goes. The Roaches and Banes are being microed, but there's still too many Banelings for Vanya rolling forward. MaxPax is trying to hold on. He's taken a lot of economic damage. Those Stalkers are trading out as well as they possibly can. He's got to micro these guys pretty darn well. He's going to probably need to use a shield battery overcharge on this, but it gets contaminated. I don't even know if it can use shield battery overcharge when it's contaminated, and the shield battery is unpowered. Vanya's pushing forward. The probe count is falling from MaxPax to the mutas as this is going on, and while MaxPax holds on, he's probably not going to die here. He's not going to die, but he is dead. As the Zerg player is just playing pretty darn well. MaxPax down to 43 workers. Vanya churning out 16 roaches off the back of his 62 drones on 4 bases. And the muta's still alive, getting more and more probes. 50 probes have gone down this game. That is a huge number. +2 is about to finish up for MaxPax, but I think he needs more than that. He's got just the 1 Colossus, which has 30 kills, yes. But if we look at the army supply right now, it's just way, way too high for the Protoss player. MaxPax is going to give it his all, a Hail Mary. This looks really, really good, though. Stalkers being surrounded by the Roaches, by the Ravagers. Yeah, too much goes down. Vanya is able to take the first match in this series. GG is called. We have got ourselves 69 people watching, which is awesome. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to go ahead and slap that like button. Slap the bejeebus out of it, as we'll try and get on into the next match. Oxide is going to be the map. Cham 2-1's Neeb, and a good result for Cham, but a sad one for Neeb fanboys as he continues to show not the results that we've come to, or we had come to expect from Neeb in the past. Hello, Jonathan R. Welcome to the stream. As we load on into the next match, we shall see if MaxPax can turn this one around. I mean, he beat Special, but Vanya could be the one to bring him down. And there's Vanya. We ain't no super high production, super pro stream. This is just me casting these games because I want to for you guys. And it's always good. that you guys are happy to tune on in and enjoy some live pro Starcraft on YouTube. Something that I think is severely lacking. I do have some classwork to do, so I am probably going to call it after this stream, or after this match. I know there'll be a lot of other great people covering the finals and stuff, so I don't necessarily feel obliged to. And hopefully down the line at some point, my schedule will work out that I'll be able to cast, say, European Cups or NA or the Korean Cups. I could probably realistically cast some of the Korean Cups, but I don't want to be that guy talking loud when I've got neighbors upstairs. Alright, we had a pylon block blocking Vanya in his early pool attempt. Probe dove back in to see that hatchery was going up. Hatchery is going up. Lings are coming in. Is this a solid wall, or can Lings technically get through here? Two Zealots out for max packs. Should be enough to push these Lings off. Yeah, I think this is actually pretty good for max packs. The micro he's doing with the Zealots and the amount of Lings that Vanya committed to is a really, really high amount. Max packs is moving out with the Zealots. I'm not sure if that's the right call, in case the Lings can actually circle around. And Vanya, yeah, he's actually going to hide the Lings. And then just run them in another time. Max packs senses this out, though. Tosses down that shield battery, but the Cyber Core is already bruised up from earlier. Vanya microing back the injured Lings, but yeah, Max Pax is going to get breached here. Sending out those Zealots seemed a little bit unnecessary. They are doing good work against the Lings on the other side of the map. They might even be able to grab a Queen, but yeah, Max Pax's Cyber Core, is it going to go down? No, it gets saved by the shield battery last second. Oh my god. 8 HP. If that had gone down, that would have been a huge, huge pain for Max Pax. But saving that is actually a massive, massive deal, seeing as how Vanya is still on such a low worker count. Yeah, that was super close. Vanya lost a lot of Lings in that process, though, with currently 11 going down so far. He's actually just making more Lings and making a Baneling nest, so he's just gonna go for a good old-fashioned Baneling bust. He's got the speed done. Max Pax, he's got to be careful though. I mean, he's got this already injured Cyber Core, so that can be busted. It's got just slightly more HP than a Pylon, and so Vanya, with a big swallow Lings, could actually just mess up Max Pax's day if Max Pax isn't paying attention. The Oracle comes on in, it's going to be cutting up these drones, actually get a lot of damage done, and this is just going to further force the hand of Vanya to be all in. But look at this, Vanya well, I think he actually grabbed those Adepts there, but yeah, he's got potential for a big attack, and I'm not sure Max Pax is ready for this. Max Pax knows how many drones he killed, how all-in Vanya's going to be in this position. Is he ready for it, though? He's now frantically walling off. He doesn't have Warp Gate research, though. I just realized Max Pax never started Warp Gate. He might have canceled it. He's making some Adepts slowly. Banelings do run in. More Banelings are going to run on in. They're going to take out the shield battery, and I think Lings are going to get into the main base of Max Pax. Probes are going to be pulled to fight, but there is 3 Oracles to help hold on, so I think that the timing of this all in is just a little bit too late, that Max Packs can absorb this damage. Morlings are going to come on in. They're going to start cracking at the natural. The Cyber Core is going to go down. That's a nice target down there by Vanya. His probes in the main base are causing havoc. Keep in mind, Vanya's doing this off the back of 16 workers, so he's actually going to be tight pressed to make anything happen. Max Packs does only have the couple of adepts. He's got 4 oracles though, which do have a lot of energy amongst them, but they don't have unlimited energy, so these lings can maybe get something done. As they're going to turn and fight, they're going to kill off a lot of these probes. They're now going to run towards the main base, but yeah, another couple of adepts did just finish up for Max Packs. Vanya's dealing a lot of damage, working away on this wall more and more and more, but Max Packs, he's staying alive in this game. He's had his mining really disrupted by this, but he does have 4 adepts in his main base now, which can cover one location. The oracles can cover another. 11 probes went down, but that was not enough for Vanya to come back in this game, I feel. Banelings did just finish up, but the oracles are working away on them. One just hits a pylon randomly, the other's going to get taken out, but yeah, Vanya not able to make it happen. Max Packs ties up the series 1-1, just like that. GG is called. GG is called indeed. Well played by Vanya. Or well played by Max Packs. Great, great match between those players. Ganatha will be the 3rd map in this series. What a awesome match. This is why I wanted to cast this cup. Okay. Here we go, loading into game number 3 between these players. Awesome, awesome game. Very exciting, very close. All right, so he managed to hold on. He weathered the storm. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, it is Max Packs. And in the top right-hand side, the Russian Zerg. It's Vanya. Vanya, really, really good. But not quite able to break Max Packs there. That all in, it came later than a usual Ling Flood would. I mean, Max Packs made it close by not having Warp Gate, by having the injured Cyber Core, by not maybe anticipating that right away, but wow, look at this. Honestly, a 3rd early pool from Vanya, just like that. Alright, so the drone gonna head towards the 3rd base, take that expo there. Max Packs being a pain. Max Packs a little bit on edge, I guess, checking for a proxy hatch ever so slightly. Throws up his Cyber Core. Yeah, and he actually is gonna scout out with this probe, being like, alright, you up to no good, guy? Throws up his Nexus as he sees the natural base. Probe has to run away from those lings. There is Cyber Core finished up for Vanya. He's Chrono Boosting out his Adept. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this game's going to play out. I think this one's going to be longer. These guys have had their 2 crazy short games. Now they can get into a longer one. Yeah. When we take a look, Ling speed's on the way for Vanya. He's getting up his He's got his third base finished up. There's the natural going up. So yeah, just wanting to be that 3-base Zerg. MaxPax, once again, is foregoing his Warp Gate research. But there we go, now it starts. He just wanted the quickest possible Stargate. An Adept is moving out for MaxPax, going to be pressuring his opponent. And guys, you got to keep in mind that MaxPax and Vanya are both top tier, or not top tier, but they're WCS players. They're both incredibly, incredibly good. MaxPax, as soon as MaxPax was really good, and then he aged into WCS so he could play. EPT, pardon me. And then Vanya, he's been around quite a while, but now all of a sudden he's really going up in skill, practicing, playing hard. Adepts for MaxPax cancel that Shade, interestingly enough. I think they might have got more damage if they had finished that Shade, as Lings are getting on top of them. Looks like one of them may barely escape, but with Ling speed, it's looking like a no. Yes, she does go down. Alright, Oracle popping out for MaxPax. Gonna be sending that out, looking for some damage. MaxPax doing the Adept Shade wall trick. Gonna put the Adept behind that wall. Another Adept will pop out. We'll be able to resecure that. Oracle for MaxPax hasn't got any damage done. Finds one drone, but instant reaction from Vanya. Able to keep that drone alive. Wow, MaxPax not getting any kills with that Oracle. A Void Ray is on the way next for MaxPax. That Overlord should take note. Probably start sweating a little. You sweating, boy? As that Overlord is just so fearing for his life. He's like, oh god, why do I have to sit and watch this Void Ray pop out? Why? Alright, Oracles do actually get some damage now done by MaxPax. 4 drone kills. Extra Stargate goes down. This is the game I wanted to see. MaxPax taking on Vanya. I think Vanya's going to be more willing to go into a later game after some crazy hectic early ones. And I think MaxPax is going to fall back on this. And so it is exciting to see a double Stargate play from the Protoss player. +1 on the way now for Vanya. Void Ray gonna kill off, not kill off that Overlord. Good transfuse. Oracles are still on the map, of course. We'll see if they can get anything else, but yeah, it does seem that Vanya is just content to macro up. Third base is being established by MaxPax. Warping in the Zealot, he's getting up another shield battery, he's making more voids. Oracles do grab more drones, 4 drones in all. Well, 4 drones extra in all, he's already got 4. Void Ray out on the map, MaxPax, you gotta be careful with that. He's gonna engage the Queen, but that's not a fight he can win. Oracle's still looking for what they can find. They do identify the Hydra Den, and this is gonna give it away to MaxPax that he's gonna be under fire from Vanya. I think it was a MaxPax game, or was it a Goblin game I saw the other day, which it was a heavy, heavy Void Ray composition. And then he basically just defended. It was either MaxPax or Goblin. They defended with just shield batteries and Void Rays. Essentially was his composition against a Hydra all-in, which is not an easy thing to do. So we're going to have to see MaxPax getting a little bit concerned about that. He's already got 3 shield batteries up. But Vanya's going to be churning out Hydras, and the rate Zerg can churn out Hydras is very, very daunting for Protoss. So Vanya, he's probably going to wait till he's got like 10, 15 Hydras, and then he'll probably just move it on the map and keep rallying more and more. Yeah, 10 Hydras in production. That's a huge number. Then there's just going to be more and more coming. MaxPax can try and buy some time with these Void Rays by hitting multiple locations. He's going to grab up a drone or 2, hitting the left side. The Void's moving into the main base. Vanya anticipated this, though. He's got 2 spores in position, moving a 3rd there. The Voids do manage to grab a Hydra, but eventually this Hydra count's just going to get so high, the Zerg will move across the map, and it's kind of like watching yourself be run over by a truck for the Protoss. When this army comes in, we saw MaxPax invested in the double Robo. He's got a Robo Bay about to finish up. What's he going to go into? Is it going to be Colossus or Void Rays? Double Colossus production is kind of cool. Based on the fact that Colossus are good against Hydras, they're good against Lings, which will be coming in this attack. And, yeah. So that'll actually do MaxPax real well. We'll see if he starts up Extended Thermal Lance. There we go, he does have that on the way. And all of a sudden, a hold against Hydra all-in is looking a lot more doable. 4 Hydras are there, the Void Rays basically just scouting all these guys out. Gotta be careful, MaxPax loses 1 Void Ray just like that. The +1 Hydras deal a lot of damage. And now we see the Lings now coming in. Gonna be heading towards the 4th base that MaxPax has fought to establish. Hydra's now starting to move across the map. The Protoss players gotta be aware of this. Alright, the Colossus getting some really good swipes off on that Protoss army. The +1 attack for them did finish up just in time, and they're actually dealing a lot of damage to those Zerg Hydras. The Voids as well. Whether holding on to the 4th base is possible or not, that's a different question, because this is a lot of Zerg attacking, and I think that 4th base probably is going to go down. Not having the range on the Hydras does actually hurt MaxPax's ability to defend this. We'll see if he's going to throw up a base on the right, kind of just expand away from your opponent. And it looks like that MaxPax may do that. We'll see. See what his choice is going to be, but for now we see Vanya saying, alright, it's time to get up a Lurker Den. I'm not going to be able to take on the Colossus with Hydras, so I'm going to need either Lurkers or Vipers. All the while MaxPax just says, okay, I'll get up that 4th base again. He's getting up a ton of tech. He's getting up Charge, Extended Thermal Lance, +2, Flux Veins. He's already got up +1 attack for air and ground. The Templar Archives on the way could lead to Psystorm, which would be really nice for this army. And it looks like we do see that on the way. Does MaxPax warp in some Templar? There he goes. Wanting to be able to drop those Psystorms ASAP. Oracle flying over the Hydras. Mistake there by MaxPax. Might need to rebuild another one of those when he realizes Lurkers are on the way. Pneumatized Carapace coming. Hive just finished up for Vanya. He's now got the Vipers, the Lurkers, even a second Lurker Den. Is that just so you can get the speed too? Right away? I guess so. Interesting choice by Vanya to go for that. Big Zealot attack from MaxPax. Colossus, Archons, High Templar, wanting to move forward. MaxPax is actually just using his Void Rays to cut through the Lurkers, and oh my gosh, that's actually really working for him. But the Hydras on the ground are a bit too much. So he's not able to make the attack, but man, this looks like a lethal composition from the Protoss. Psystorm to back it up to prevent the Zerg collapsing on top of it. Colossus to cut through Hydras. The Void Rays in the sky. Just to do Void Ray things. MaxPax is going to have a hard time with Vanya's composition, though, as the game goes on, because Vanya's going to have the Vipers, which can get feedback, get abducts, pardon me, on the Colossus, on the Void Ray's Parasitic Bomb as well. So we do see a Mothership and Tempest on the way for MaxPax, and oh boy, this game is going to go long, I feel. On Gigantha, this is going to be, yeah, a crazy long match, I feel, as MaxPax is digging in his heels, getting up that 5th base. Vanya throwing up Spine Crawlers, wanting to ensure his positions are defended. He's even sending a Lurker there for good measure. Zealot's now going to be moving in, hitting some Creep Tumors. But there's no way they'll get anything done at this 5th base, really, with the spine, with the lurker. Max Pack's pushing in once again, feedbacking. The Vipers is very nice. Big Psystorms on the Zerg army. Another storm going down. Max Pax was testing his luck, trying to push in. He's going to have a big Zealot warping into the main base of Vanya. This is one location that does not have spines or lurkers, so these Zealots are going to get in, potentially get some good damage done to the Zerg, and this is going to make defending for the Zerg quite tough, while also trying to be aggressive, or while trying to deal with the attack in his main. The Hydras do get into the main to deal with that. You see more Zealots coming towards the 3rd base, killing off drones, even though there's a lurker, spining them as this goes on. The 5th base for Max Pax is being secured. The Zerg is only on 5 bases, so this is considered a good spot for the Protoss. The Protoss is up on workers. Max Pax is now making 4 carriers at a time. He's having a mothership join up with this. This is like the dream composition that Max Pax has right now. Colossus, Tempest, Void Rays, High Templar, a mothership joining the fray. This is just going to be really, really good for Max Pax. And his 5 Colossus, by the way, are actually great. As long as they don't just get abducted and do nothing before then. The Colossus are actually superb against the Hydras. They're alright against the Lurkers. This Zerg force is kind of being caught out on the map. The Void Rays are engaging the Hydras, but it is just the Voids against the Hydras. So the Hydras are actually going to kill off like 3, 4, 5 Void Rays. That was a really good trade for Vanya. Max Pax can trade this for more carriers, but not the way you want to spill those Voids. They maybe could have gone to the main base, tried to get something done, sniped a hatchery instead. Max Pax is now going to move forward off of creep, which is very risky. Mothership gets abducted. Psystorm going down all over the place, trying to save that Mothership, and it does work, making the Hydras back off. A Colossus, actually, all the Colossus have been abducted and have gone down, but still, Max Pax pushes forward with his air army. With his carriers, the count that's growing. Viper gets picked off. You gotta be really careful though if you're Max Pax at this point in the game. I mean, he lost all of his High Templar, he lost his Colossus, so he's actually down on AoE. So it's gonna be at a point which the Hydras could actually be a very, very big threat to this Protoss army. So we don't want to see Max Pax overcommit, as he very well could do. The Lurkers will deal with the Zealots no problem, then the Hydras can actually trade against the carriers. And so yeah, you gotta back up Max Pax. He realizes this now as he recalls. Gonna be getting his force back home. Yeah, no more Templar were warped in for Max Pax though, and I think that's a really big problem. He never got up a ton of shield batteries at his 5th base as he's just been spending his money non-stop. And yeah, look at this. This is just so many Hydras against the Protoss force. The Interceptors will not hold. I mean, we'd see some High Templar warped in now, but yeah, it's too little too late. Max Pax is gonna have to give up his 5th base. He is re-expanding to the right side, but yeah, losing your 5th base at 16 minutes into the game is not what you want. And that was an overcommitment from Max Pax, not realizing that he needed more he needed more AoE after losing his Colossus and using all of his High Templar. Vanya just coming around with his mass Hydra composition. It's been doing him pretty well. There is going to be Psystorm in these Templar pretty darn soon, and as a matter of fact, there is now, but we'll see if Max Pax is able to hold on. Psystorm dropping on a lot of the Hydras doing work, but that's all the Psystorm. That's all there is for Max Pax. The carriers are going to have a much better time fighting now as their numbers are higher, so they'll scale better against the Hydras, but still, they have to retreat. They have to rebuild more Interceptors before the fight's going to resume. Both players trading out, but that was not good for Max Pax. Max Pax got more carriers out. His count's currently 10, so I think he can fight this Zerg army that's here now. Those Lurkers will be dealt with. But yeah, Max Pax gonna have to be very vigilant with keeping his AoE up, seeing as how the Hydra count's up to 34 again. A few more Vipers on the way for Vanya, wanting to be able to do those abducts against the carriers. Oh wow, what a game. This is a really, really great match that we're having here to end this series. Carriers moving around. Gotta be careful not to overcommit again though, Max Pax. You already did that once and it cost you a lot. Max Pax pushes forward once again, hitting before the Vipers of Energy. This could actually work out pretty well for him. He does have High Templar with energy. He has forced the Zerg army to split up. He does have to be careful, though. The Vipers are now building up their energy. Max Packs, you got to be so careful. I mean, these Vipers can all get off a ton of abduct. Max Pax is going in, trying to force the fight before Vanya can get a really good setup. He can drop some Psystorm on these Hydras. In come the Vipers. 3 of them get feedback. Is there going to be any more feedback? Yes, the 4th, the 5th feedback. Perfect feedback from Max Pax, but he does have to keep in mind that he doesn't have a Psystorm really to cover himself. Or no, that was the last Psystorm going down. He's going to keep fighting with these carriers against the Hydras, but man, those feedbacks were perfect for Max Pax. He's even got an Archon on the ground coming to help out, but yes, Max Pax does need to get out of there. He speeds away through the acceleration zone, and he has to retreat. He has to build up that interceptor count. Then he can probably turn and fight these Hydras, to be honest. But yeah, he's got to get away. He's going to turn and fight now before a lot of his interceptors have rebuilt. With the Zealots, with the Archon helping out, it looks like he will push this Zerg army back. I'm still very nervous, though, because there's barely any interceptors. 23 interceptors, but it is enough. Vanya taps out. Max Pax takes the 2-1 in the series. GG. Max Pax playing well today. As, yeah. Making things look a little bit dicey there, but in the end, really great play. And now we're actually going to have Nina versus Max Pax. Cham versus Solar. Solar taking down Armani. Wow. And these are going to be semifinals, so they'll actually be best of 5 matches. I should, however, call the stream here, though, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a PvZ and a PvP over on some other channels on Twitch, on YouTube. You guys can go ahead and check those out. I do want to say thanks so much to everyone for tuning in today. It has been an absolute blast casting this cup. We had 78 of you come out at the peak, which is awesome to see. Thanks to those of you that did support the channel. Before I do head out, I want to say, once again, thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed the match, go ahead, hit that like button. If you watch a lot of this stream and you aren't a sub, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I put out daily StarCraft 2 on the channel. I'm going to be doing this cast pretty much every week, the EPT America's Cup. Join the Discord, that's linked down below. We talk pro StarCraft, we talk Alpha Star and things like that. If you do want to support the channel, there are the links in the description to either donate or become a member. Members can get various perks. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in today. It has been a blast. All right, yeah. Been a fun cast.